And this Hangout on air is live. Yay!
That's awesome.
I'm very excited. Gosh, so you are joining me today with one of my favorite people on YouTube, really. Let me start off by doing my little theme song here. Is it? Oh, well, I also have I turn on the volume. And that's enough of that. So yeah, I'm welcome to my PaulCast. This is kind of a podcasty show that I do with a co-host every couple of weeks if I can. I'm Paul, based out of Los Angeles, and this week I'm joined by my friend.
Oh, Echo Gillette. Hello. I should talk about my channel a little bit. Or
yeah, tell people who you are.
Okay. I am Echo Gillette. I live in the glorious city of Phoenix, Arizona, which is practically the surface of the sun, and I run a channel that is mostly art-based videos, along with some blog videos. And then I also try and do a lot of work with the smaller YouTube community. So that's cool.
That is cool. And I think that's actually how I discovered who you were. I came across, somebody had tweeted about BAM, the small YouTuber show.
I probably should have mentioned that.
Yeah, and I loved it. And I very quickly saw all these small YouTubers that I liked. And then actually you featured me in a show, which was so cool.
Yeah, because you were, what was it? Who was it? Ellen and I decided that you were the king of networking or something. Because like everyone in the small YouTube community. Like every time I would find someone and be like, oh, I should talk about this person on BAM next time, I would see that they were friends with you. And I don't know if maybe that's just the internet leading me into like my own little circles, but it always seems like you know all of the small YouTubers.
I mean, the internet was made for you because, as people say, it's an echo chamber.
Word puns. I'll admit I have not heard that one before.
New one for me. Awesome.
Yes. It is a very difficult thing to do, to make an original joke with my name, because...
we are already joined by lots of people in the chat. I do see you in the chats, and as I see your comments come in, I'm going to relay them to Echo. I might miss a couple. It doesn't mean I hate you. It just means that these things fly by really fast. So we are already joined by Mark Hilton, Mega Navista. Please tell me how to pronounce your name if I'm pronouncing that wrong. Jeff Maboy, Melissa Grebroff, and who else? Reese B. NV is here. Hi, NV. Rufeda, who I met at the my live show with Ask Kristen. Hi, Rufeda. And I think, there's more. Gosh, Artsy Llama is here. What a great name.
That's beautiful.
Tez Kaylee, Lauren Liefeld. Yeah, lots of people.
I'm not looking at the chat, by the way.
Yeah. So I'm going to tell Echo the stuff that I see. So like Mega, so to tell Echo I said hi. So
hello.
Mega says hi.
Yeah, hello to you as well.
Let's see here. Mark Hilton says that he knew about Echo from her collab with Nelly Rose, our friend Ellen Rose.
She's awesome. She's like fantastic.
She's so great.
I was rooming with her at VidCon. And
yes.
she's another person that I met through you. I've got a dog right here. He's begging for attention.
That's great that you prove the dog's presence by holding up a paw.
He's like,
he could be a dead dog. We don't even know.
He's trying. Come here, Bowser. Come on. No.
Come on, Doog.
Come on, Doog. Come on, Doog. Come on. No, he's just gonna fight me. Anyway.
Jeff Maboy says, Echo, I love you. You are my idol.
Oh, that's so sweet. That's adorable. Oh, that's so wonderful. How many people are here from Twitter, out of curiosity? How many people?
I'm not sure. That we've got 17 viewers at the moment, so I'm going to assume that probably like a good 15 of them. lots of asks for people saying just hi and please notice me. So yeah,
okay. Here, let me.
If you have actual questions for me or Echo to answer, please ask them in the chat, and I will try to relay them, and we'll see if we can answer those questions. We won't get to everything, but we'll see what we can do.
I'm going to read through some of these names in the comments really quick. I just pulled up the thing.
Ariel Batman has joined us and says, I love your art, Echo, so much.
Aww.
And I wanted to read that comment because I agree. I completely, I love your art as well.
My art is crazy. So, here he is. He's now. Come here, Bella. Oh, no. My sister gave him like one of those dog treat. Yeah, now.
Oh, now we'll see.
Yes, he's going to sit there and eat his little dentist bone.
That's adorable.
He's such a dork.
That's
Bowser. For anyone who's, I don't know, who doesn't follow me super closely. This is my sister's dog, Bowser. We just call him Doog. He's a brat. But he's adorable.
I love dogs. That's
he's a bulldog, right?
Yeah, she's some sort of a bulldog mix, like maybe like a pit bull bulldog mix, I think.
Yeah, Bowser is mostly a German Shepherd, I want to say, but he's also a mutt.
I like mutts. Mutts are great.
Mutts are fantastic. I feel like, I don't know, I relate to mutts more than purebred dogs.
Same here. I mean, as I'm Asian American, half Korean, half American, I also identify with mutts.
Yeah, like I'm, well, my mom is like Hispanic and with like a Mexican, but mostly Spanish, and then my dad is like mostly German, but that's also, there's like French and like a little bit of Irish, and so it's like both of them were mutts, and then I'm even more of a mutt just from them, and then I grew up like with my Spanish side of the family, and so it's just, yeah, I feel like I relate to mutts a lot. And plus I grew up always having like mutts when we were kids. We always had like stray dogs and just like the dogs that would be given away in front of the grocery stores in the little boxes that said like free puppies. Those were always the dogs.
That actually happens in real life. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I feel like it might be more of a like small town thing.
It might be.
Whenever like someone's dog got pregnant and had puppies and the family couldn't keep them, they would just like have their kids go out with like a box and just write free puppies, and they'd just sit there in front of the grocery store next to this box that said free puppies. And it was kind of nice because even as kids you get to like go and play with the puppies, and
even if you can adopt them.
Yeah, like even if you can adopt them, every now and then you just get to go play with puppies outside the grocery store.
The world would be a better place if more people played with puppies, so I'm in favor of that whole thing.
It was super adorable.
We're also joined in the chat by let's see here, Miss Stogan Fernandez, Girl of Darkness 10, Rufeda, I do remember the pink hearts. Brian Lee says hi. Envy says, tell Echo I love her hair.
Oh, thank you. This is not the right color at the moment. Well, I mean, it kind of works. It's faded a bit.
It suits your shirt very well.
Yeah, I bought this new hair dye that I'd never used before, and it was too dark, and it came out like a burgundy, so I've just been like washing it, trying to get it to fade, and I feel like it's actually gotten to like a decent shade at this point. So I might try normally maintaining it now. I don't know. But I
Are you going to be able to maintain it while you're traveling overseas?
I don't know. That was a huge part of the reason that I dyed it, was because I'm moving in 2 weeks-ish. In 2 weeks, once again, for people who don't know, I am flying out to New York, and I'm going to be there for like a week with my friend Crystal Joy, which I'm really excited about because she's another awesome YouTuber.
Crystal Joy seems like such a sweetie.
She's so cool. We text each other all the time, and I'm excited because it's one of those instances where you get to meet your internet friends in real life.
You haven't met her yet?
I haven't met her like in physical space yet. Like I've known her for like a year, like over a year, I think. And we talk all the time, but I've been her through like we've done Google Hangout type things before, but I haven't actually had a chance to like meet her in physical space because it's like I'm on this coast and she's over there on the other coast. So we're like on the opposite sides of the country. And so when I told her like, oh, I'm going to be flying out to London, she was like, oh, you should just stop here for a week and then we can like hang out and stuff. So I'm excited. So we're going to get to do a bunch of collab work and it's going to be awesome. I'm excited. Oh,
that's
but
so wonderful.
Yeah, I'm flying out to New York for a week and then I fly from New York to London on like the 8th, I think. Yeah, I'm going to be flying out to London because I start a master's degree on the 12th of next month, which is still crazy. It still hasn't completely hit me that I'm leaving the country.
Is that a 2 years program?
No, it's a 1-year program.
Okay.
It's like an accelerated program. I think it's technically 3 semesters because it's like a regular school year plus the summer. So it cycles all the way around into September. I might stay for another year though, but we'll find out. I don't know. Because I've been reading and I want to say that you can stay in the United Kingdom for up to a year after on a student visa. Like you can get it extended just for to work. So I might do that, but we'll see.
That would be cool. If I got a chance to go to London, I would be hard pressed to leave, even after a year.
Yeah.
I think.
I've never been there, so that's another thing. I want to like just kind of feel it out and see what I think about it for a while, for the year, and then if I want to stay for another year after that, I might. I'd like to. I'd like to be there for 2 years.
That'd be very cool. Let's see. We are also joined in the chat by, let's see, Hats McPay, MCPE McP, Hats. Hi, Hats. Goodness, there's so many things happening in the chats here. I'm not ignoring the chats, but we are just gonna have a conversation, and we'll just try to intersperse your questions and comments from the chats into ours if we can. We are joined by my friend Steakachino from New York. Claire Augustin's over here in the chats.
Did you say Steakachino?
Steakachino, combination of steak and cappuccino.
That's the best username. I love that.
Isn't it great? That's my friend Sabrina in New York. Let's see here. Who I missed? Polka Dots. Matt Polka's here. Hi, Matt. Annie Lou 9019 is here. Goodness. Okay. Somebody asked, Echo, do you listen to Welcome to Night Vale?
No, wait, what is the band again?
Welcome to Night. It's not a band. I think it's like a podcast show type thing.
Oh, I know. I haven't heard of that. For a minute, I thought you were talking about a different band that someone has recommended to me. I don't know what that is. Is it a podcast?
It's like it's a fictional show presented as like a radio show, and they talk about the weird things that happen in that area. Welcome to Night Vale. I myself am not an avid listener. I just like know about it.
It sounds interesting. I feel like I should make a note of that.
I think you probably like it. I mean, like I know that you are a fan of weird supernatural type things.
Yeah.
Like the show Supernatural.
Yes.
I'm wearing my
that's I love
mashup
it.
shirt.
What? Where did you get that?
I think I got this off of like a T-Fury, and when I saw like Crowley as the professor and then the Winchesters as like the supernatural boys, I had to get it.
That makes me very happy. I want to get one of those. That's beautiful. That makes me really happy.
It felt appropriate for the show.
Yeah, that's super appropriate. Oh, that makes me so happy. I just did Gishwis. I'm working on a video for it. I've got to contact a bunch of people because I need to get their mailing addresses to send them thank you cards and stuff. But do you know what Gishwis is?
I do. The greatest internet scavenger hunt the world has ever seen.
Yeah, the greatest international scavenger.
Sorry.
It's the biggest scavenger hunt in human history. It's super, super insane. But I joined one of like the most competitive teams because I was originally I was thinking about just like taking it easy and like getting a bunch of friends together and like doing it because it would be fun and stuff. And then I was talking to them and I was like, oh yeah, it's like I was explaining it. And they were like, oh, yeah, that'll be fun. I could do a little bit after work or something. And I was like, no, I'm going to take this way more seriously than you realize. And so this is going to be bad for our friendship. So I made some more friends who actually would take it as, like, insanely seriously as I do. And I feel like we did really good. Yeah, I did. Sorry. That's another thing that I do with this one is that we'll just point at him and say, you're a doog. Just to remind him, just in case he forgets.
Well, dogs don't have the best memories, really. So
yeah, and we're afraid that he doesn't know, that he's just oblivious. So we try to let him know. But anyway, but yeah, so we did Gishwis, and it was like super crazy. So I'm working on a video about all the super crazy things that we did. Some of them were really exciting, and like one of my favorite ones, and I'm really excited to show the video for it, was that I ended up dressing up like, you know, those wacky inflatable flailing arm tube men that you seem to
Yes, flailing arm tube man. Yeah.
One of the items was to kind of like dress up as one and dance with them. And so one of our team members had like claimed the item and she was working on it, and she sent out this text message in our chat and was like, guys, I've been driving around for like 2 or 3 hours. I cannot find one anywhere. And we were in the car driving, and as she sent that out, we drove past one. And I was like, well, I can do it. We just drove past one. So we just went, and in like the span of like 3 hours, we went and constructed this like super elaborate costume that was like 3 feet taller than I am. And we just like went out and like took this ridiculous video where I'm like dancing dressed as like wacky flailing inflatable arm tube.
I definitely want to see that. That needs to be.
I'm so excited to put it on the internet because it's hilarious. It makes me so happy.
Coincidentally, in the chats, Annie Lou 9019 says it's Misha Collins' birthday. Oh my lord.
Is it for reals right now? What?
This is what Annie Lou 9019 says. I have no reason to doubt them.
I really hope so.
That's another good coincidence. I like that.
It totally is. What? Oh, dude, thank you for like letting me know that. I did not know that. I'm sure the internet is having quite the celebration today.
I'm sure that it is. It's probably all over
circles.
Tumblr.
Yeah. So Doug.
Jeff, my boy, asks, will you come back to go to VidCon?
Yeah, I want to go to VidCon, and I want to go to somewhere in the city next year, because I know they just had somewhere in the city.
Like last weekend.
Yeah. He wants attention.
If you're tuning in, this is Echo and Doog's live show.
Yes, this is Doog, aka Bowser. He's an attention hog. He sees me talking to my computer, and he feels like he needs to be involved. Anyway, Sheep Panda in the chats asks a question for Echo. Does she have any pets? Obviously, Bowser, as you've mentioned before, is your sister's dog. Yes, I'm at my sister's place right now because, once again, I'm moving in 2 weeks. So it's just like between my last lease and where I'm moving. So it's just easier to stay with my sister for 2 or 3 weeks. And then this is her dog. But I move a lot, so I don't have any pets personally. Plus, I can give him all the attention that I need in terms of dogs without the responsibility of actually owning an animal. So there's that. He's my baby. Oh, dude. He's ignoring me now. He's mad at me for talking to my computer and not him. My sister has like 8 fish, an illegal bullfrog. We have a bullfrog that is apparently illegal in the state of Arizona as a pet. It was an accident. We got a tadpole, and we got it thinking, not knowing it would be a bullfrog tadpole. But yeah, it developed into a bullfrog, so we just kind of accidentally ended up with housing an illegal bullfrog.
You better finish that sentence quickly, because you're in Arizona. You might get in trouble.
That's fair. So we make like ridiculous jokes about him being an illegal bullfrog all the time. We named him Tadpole. Like,
you named the bullfrog Tadpole when he was a tadpole?
We named him Tadpole when he was a tadpole. So without the, what is it, the T or the D? Tadpole. Like T-A-P-O-L-E. Tadpole. And so he's still Tadpole now that he's a frog. And we had like a feast day party for him when he grew his legs. And then we were like, what kind of frog is this? And we looked it up, and it's like, this is a bullfrog. It's illegal to have as a pet because it's an invasive species.
Yes.
So I don't know. We can't set him free because that's like the worst thing you can do.
For an invasive species, absolutely. That is what you do not want to do.
So we're kind of just like containing him. And then what's the other thing? Their other roommate, Matt, he has 2 rats. And I feel like, is that all of the pets that we have in this household? Yes. So I'm surrounded by pets. So I never feel the need to like get my own. Plus, I move a lot. I move so many places. I think I've had 7 addresses in the last 2 years.
Yeah, you are the most nomadic person. Actually, you're the second most nomadic person I know, but it's a close second.
Who's the first, out of curiosity?
First is Abby Sam, a hard of hearing YouTuber who literally just like goes everywhere all the time. I don't think she's been in one place for more than 2 weeks this year.
Ooh.
It's been she's right now she's going to the U.S. Virgin Islands, I think.
Huh. How?
Randomly. It's amazing.
What does she do for a living?
Uh, I
Any
don't think
idea?
I don't think she like earns a lot of money. She just finds
Just
places to
travels?
stay and travels.
That's intense. That's so hard to do.
It
That's
is.
really impressive.
And I actually want to find out from her more about like how her life works, but I don't. Anyway, Abby Sams is the most nomadic person I know, but Echo Gillette is a very close second.
Close second. I do
Close
move a
second.
lot, and now I'm leaving the country, so I'm moving again.
Before we get away from Gishwiz and Misha Collins and such, Envy asks, who are your favorite characters from Supernatural? Both of you.
Oh, that's difficult. I think hands down my absolute favorite character is Death. I forget what season. I think he's in season. I think he shows up in season 7, the one with the 4 horsemen.
Yeah.
He's my favorite character.
I don't understand how they ended Death when people are still dying. I want him to come back.
I feel like they didn't. I feel like he's just like taking a holiday kind of thing. Like he's just like, okay, I'll just let them fake my death and then like go do my own thing. Because I'm sure it's probably like, do you remember the episode of The Office where it's like something happens to Michael and the office still just runs? Because it turns out you don't need like a supervisor to like manage a bunch of full-grown adults. So maybe it's that kind of scenario where like he's gone, but you know, all the Reapers are still out. They're still like taking care of everything. So maybe it's one of those scenarios where the business is still set up in a way where it doesn't need someone just standing at the top.
I mean, that would make sense. Like, do you ever see the TV show Dead Like Me, where there was a bunch of Reapers?
I have. Well, it was a really, really long time ago, and I never finished it, but I saw a good amount of episodes. It's a good show. I need to go back.
It was. I loved Mandy Patinkin's character in that one. But Supernatural's death is really good. I like he looks skeletal. They cast him really well.
Yeah, I think that's part of the reason why he's my favorite is because the casting is perfect. Also, the scene where he enters, they have what's it called? The song "Oh Death" by Jen Titus. It's like one of the few songs that I've actually gone and like pulled from the show and like actually tried to find on the internet. It's a really good song, and it's so out of character for the show that it just sets like this really intense tone for the entire episode, which makes me really happy because it's just unlike any other Supernatural episode. Like the introduction of death. Yeah, that one scene is probably my favorite.
They're very good. They're really good at using music on that show. I'm very impressed by it. My favorite character, it's very easy for me. It's Charlie.
Charlie's awesome.
Like, I don't want to spoil Charlie's character arc for anybody, but let's just say that that I'm not happy with how Supernatural has treated Charlie.
That's fair. I completely understand that. Yeah, I understand that reference very much.
Yeah, but Felicia Day as Charlie was just so great. And then I think she met didn't she meet like Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz?
Yeah, and there's like they have one of I love what is it called? Like I've heard a couple of people describe it as a Monster of the Week episode where it's something that you could essentially watch without knowing the overall plot of Supernatural and just enjoy it. I feel like it's one of those episodes, and they just kind of like took a theme or an idea and then implemented it into the show. But yeah, that is a really good episode. I like Charlie. She's awesome. She's like, I feel like she's a good role model.
She is a good role model.
Apart from like the whole, like being like a hacker, stealing stuff and all that jazz. But I feel like in general, she's a very good role model type character.
Even there, she had kind of a Robin Hood thing going.
Yeah. I mean, some of the other characters in the show have done much worse.
Yes.
Put it that way.
Every other character on the show has done much worse.
Yeah, that's actually, she's like one of the few characters who hasn't necessarily killed hundreds of people.
Yeah, it's true. I'm gonna see what else is in the chat here. Envy points out that Death wasn't there the whole time. Lucifer raised him, so he can be not there, and people will still die. That makes sense.
Okay. Yeah.
Lot of love for Castiel in the chat, mostly from Jeff. Yeah. But I understand Castiel is amazing.
Castiel's fantastic. Misha Collins is also fantastic. Just the two beings separately are both fantastic.
Yes, I don't know. It's like Castiel is like the Batman of Supernatural because when Misha Collins goes into that, he has that voice.
Yeah.
And then he drops the voice when he stops being Castiel, and it's like he's completely different people. It's amazing.
Yeah, especially because like Castiel is very like clueless, and he's got this like I don't know what's going on scowl all the time. Whereas Misha Collins as a human being is like I don't know if I'd call him bubbly, but he's like a lot happier and funnier.
I wouldn't call him bubbly, but he's definitely happier. Oh my gosh, we had Riley J. Dennis in our chat for a minute.
Oh, that's cool.
Riley was here, but has to go. Aww.
Oh, sad face.
Riley J. Dennis says, I miss you both. I miss you too, Riley.
It was nice seeing you at VidCon.
Yes. I hung out with Riley a couple times at VidCon. We got like waffles or pancakes together, which is, you know.
Oh, at IHOP?
No, yes, which is the mark of a true friendship.
Yes.
Annie Lou says, I was once told that I am Charlie's and Castiel's child. That is a heck of a pedigree there, Annie Lou.
And a compliment. I would take that as a compliment.
Definitely a compliment. And then Tez points out that they don't know anything about Supernatural. Okay, we don't have to talk about Supernatural constantly.
Yeah, we could probably, because the Supernatural, it's they're currently filming the 12th season. They're going into their 12th season, and I want to say they're planning a 13th at this point. It's a big show, and the fandom is huge, so there's a lot to know about it. So I can understand why it could be going right over people's heads.
Like, there was a time when I was trying to collect the DVDs of each season of Supernatural, and then around like season 8, I realized this is never going to end. This is way too much of a monetary investment for me.
I feel like I don't. What was it? I was watching a bunch of was it like the cast interviews for like a con they did, and they were talking about how they're just like beating a dead horse at this point, because it's like we don't even know where to go from here, kind of. It's like maybe we should have ended it when they were like to like preserve the what was it, the integrity of the show. No, we're just gonna milk it for all it's worth, and so they're just still going, and it's crazy.
I'm realizing that I could probably talk about Supernatural forever, but I also really like the fact that Chuck came back and all of a sudden had like a huge like reveal and impact on the show. They didn't even like mention it was going to happen. They didn't like lead up to it. It just happened.
Yeah, I kind of saw it coming. Just
I mean, I think everybody could have predicted it, but it was just still came out of nowhere.
Yeah, he's a good person for it too.
Yeah, the actor is really good for that.
Yeah.
Okay, so another topic. Brian Lee asks, what is your reaction to Gravity Falls last episode?
Oh, that was intense. Like all of Gravity Falls. I'm so sad that I feel like they left it in a really good place, but it also means there's not going to be any more episodes, which is sad. I mean, there are some ways where they might be able to bring it back, but I feel like it's got good closure.
Yes.
But
it's weird to think that it's one summer.
Yeah, it's crazy. And what? It's 2 seasons, right?
I thought it was 3. It might be, yeah, you're right. It's 2 because Alex Hirsch has said he specifically plotted out a 2-season story.
Yeah, he did a really good job, and he closed it like really well. But at the same time, it's like just that like I want more.
Yeah, well, I mean, I like the fact that like it was an ending with closure, but it wasn't an ending that like ended the adventure possibilities. Like Mabel and Dipper could absolutely be having more adventures right now.
Yeah.
I like that.
It's such a it is a good show, and I totally recommend Gravity Falls to anyone who hasn't seen it yet. And once again, it's only 2 seasons, which that's something that can be binge watched fairly easily.
Yes, it is. It's one of my favorite cartoons. Like that and Steven Universe, they're right up there.
Yeah, I just saw. Okay, so I've seen the first season of Steven Universe, and I've been meaning to finish the second one because I do want to make a like How to Draw Yourself in the style of Steven Universe one. But I've been planning it for a really long time. But I've got all the like style, like I've been studying their like art style and everything of what's her name, Rebecca Sugar.
Mm-hmm.
Am I imagining that?
You're correct.
But yeah, so I've been like doing like a bunch of sketches and trying to like get the style down and all of that stuff. But I want to catch up to the current episode. I want to say, are they in their 3rd season? Am I imagining that?
You're not imagining, but they just finished the 3rd season and just started the 4th. Like down the 3rd or 4th episode of the 4th season. Yeah,
the second one was just added to Hulu, which I specifically got just to watch Steven Universe, and so I've got to run through the second season, but I want my sister to see it, so I've got to go back through the first season so that she can catch up, and then I'm going to go through and finish the second season, and then I've just got to catch up somehow. I'll sort it out.
Fortunately, every episode's only 11 minutes.
Yeah,
that's a nice thing, and they're so good. And
the style is beautiful. The color is amazing. The plot, like, all of it makes me happy. I think
they put a lot of work into every single detail of that show, and it shows. Let's see here. Claire Guston asked, "Echo, how do you feel about the color orange?"
How do I feel about the color orange? That's a good question. Okay, I mean,
is that a reference to something?
Maybe it's not. I'm taking it literally. Is it a reference to something? If it is, I'm sorry, I'm screwing this up. But if you're talking about just the color in general, because color plays like a huge part in my life. Like everything I own is red and black, and there's a specific type of red that is like my favorite color because it's not cool like purple, but it's not warm like orange. It's like a fire engine, like fully saturated red. And orange is a color that most people say you either love or you hate. I kind of say I like orange, but at the same time it's really loud. I don't know if this is a reference to something. I could just be like messing this up horribly, but I don't know. Orange is a pretty good color. What are your thoughts on orange, out of curiosity?
For the longest time, I avoided it because it is such like a strong color. If you wear it, then it tends to stand out as the only color that you're wearing, even if you're wearing lots of other stuff. But I recently come to like orange, and irrelevant of the Orange is the New Black show, irrelevant of any other like cultural significances to it. I like that it's kind of like an unapologetic color. It shows up. It's like, hey, I'm orange. Deal with it, bitch. And then you're there.
That's such an interesting question. Dare I ask where you came up with that question from?
Yeah, Claire, let us know why you asked about the orange.
Yeah, I'm curious. I hope that it's not a reference to something, as most things are nowadays.
Let's see here. Oh, actually, coincidentally, RC Llama asked, how do you feel about how Steven Universe is going?
I can't answer that because I don't know. No spoilers, but
you are working on drawing yourself in the Steven Universe style, which was RC Llama's second question, so that's cool.
Yeah, like I get that request a lot, and I am working on it. I do. It's just like with those particular videos, I put a lot of effort into them to make them as good as I can, and I also want to feel like I know what I'm talking about, so I want to try and learn the style as best I can.
Yeah, that's very cool. That's particularly why I chose to like crop out yourself as Gravity Falls type and yourself as Adventure Time type, and put that into our advertising thumbnail because it's like turned out so well.
I was happy with them. I was really happy with them, and the one that Butch Hartman did, that was really cool. I can't believe that happened.
Yes.
Still, I can't
you
believe
and the Danny Phantom stuff. The only reason I didn't use that in the thumbnail is because you didn't draw it; somebody else drew it. But
really fair.
It's cool.
But it's just thinking, like, when I think back that it happened. For anyone who doesn't know, I do a series on my channel where I will try and teach people how to draw themselves in the style of other cartoons. And thus far, I've done Gravity Falls, Adventure Time, and Danny Phantom. But for the Danny Phantom one, I was actually asked by Butch Hartman to make a video for his YouTube channel. And so I actually got to have Butch Hartman, the creator of Danny Phantom, teach me how to draw in the style of Danny Phantom. And it's like, I can't believe that happened. And he drew me. Like, he actually drew a picture of me in the Danny Phantom style, which is just still mind-blowing.
That's really, really cool.
That's
Claire clarifies that they just wanted to know what your thoughts were on orange because they already knew that you're obsessed with red and black.
Yeah, and it's fair because orange is fairly close to red as a color. I like really loud, really high saturation.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I like high saturation, which is something that a lot of people don't like because it's loud. But like orange is too much for me. I feel like red is like it's loud, but it's not screaming, if that makes any sense. I don't know. I like red.
I mean, I don't want to seem like I'm copying you, but red and black are two of my favorite colors. It's one of the reasons why my car is it's called like crystal red or something like that.
Ooh.
Goodness, Gesundheit.
Thank you. Yeah, I think I'm gonna blame the dog for my allergy. But yeah,
That
red and
makes
black are
sense.
good colors. They just naturally they work well together, and it's like they're everywhere, all over the internet. Like, yeah, I'm not being original. It's just one of the things that people associate with me. Um,
It definitely is.
yeah, it's become an icon of my channel for sure.
Let's
But
see here. Mistigan Fernandez asks, "Will you draw yourself in a JTHM style?"
Johnny the Homicidal Maniac.
Ah,
Have you heard of this comic at all?
I haven't.
Okay, do you know of Invader Zim? He did
Yes.
that thing. Yeah. Okay, so before he was given a show by Cartoon Network to do Invader Zim, he used to make a comic book called Johnny the Homicidal Maniac, and it's a really, really dark comic
I would
about
hope so with that
like
name.
it's a really good one though, but his style is amazing because it's unlike any comic book style that you see like with the stereotypical superheroes, like stereotypical American comics. It's a very unique style, and it was a huge part of the reason that I loved it so much. So like I have all of the books that he has. You should look into it, but it's like really twisted. It's
Hmm.
really, really dark. And then they gave him a show, and you can see it like reflected a little bit in the show Invader Zim. I am planning to eventually make a Invader Zim style how to draw yourself because it is his style, so it's all very similar.
Sure.
And I feel like Johnny the Homicidal Maniac is it's a cult classic, but it's one of those things that not a lot of people know about. So I probably wouldn't do a Johnny the Homicidal Maniac one, but I would probably do something Invader Zim themed.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Same
Yeah.
creator, so why not?
Yeah, it's like roughly the same style. Um, you're a duke. Yeah, just reminding him in case he forgets. Um,
That's good.
oh, we were joking about like how funny it would be because the whole like we randomly point at our dog and say you're a dude just to remind him or someday we're going to get through to him and he's going to realize that he's not a human too. And then we were joking about it the other day and we're like, what if it's a twist ending and it turns out you're the dude? It's just like a stupid
You
joke
were
that
the
we
Duke all along.
yeah, you were the dude all along, and it's like you just didn't even realize it.
We got a couple more questions about shows. Jeff Maboy asks if you watch and or like Gotham, and then Hats asks if we watch The Flash.
I haven't watched The Flash. I have some friends who watch it that I need to
I
sit down
watch
and
all the superhero shows like obsessively. I'm big into it. The fact that Supergirl is now on CW, so there's going to be like a huge like multi-show crossover event,
Mhm.
is making me flip my lid. Flip my lid.
All of them are on my watch list, and it's just like I have a massive list of like everyone does. I feel like just a massive list of TV shows that I need to watch, and all of them are on there. Like Supergirl and The Flash. The Flash, particular, and Arrow. That's another one that a lot of my friends like. I have two friends who are really into all the like superhero TV shows and Agents of Shield.
Yes, I watch
That's
that
another one
too.
that I keep being recommended. So I need to watch all of those, but I haven't yet. I haven't watched any of them. And I
Gotham
do
is
wish
not.
there would be. That's a
Gotham is
cartoon, though, isn't it?
DC, but it's not like part of the. Gotham is DC and it's live action, but it's not part of the like whole like crossover superhero universe thing. It just happens to also be uh, based out of DC characters. Have you watched Gotham?
No, I haven't watched Gotham either. I don't think so. I haven't watched any of the like newer superhero TV shows that have come out.
I tried watching Gotham for the first season, and I liked it. I particularly liked like the Catwoman character, and the Penguin was very intense. But I found myself thinking, well, why do I care about this version of these characters? What I really want to do is see everybody. What I really want is to see everybody in their costumes, like fighting each other with their special gimmicks. I don't really need to see all this. I can see like one episode of Precursor, and then I want to actually see the superheroes being superheroes.
That makes sense.
That's me.
What happened? Like, what's the like? How do they go about everything in the in Gotham?
Gotham is basically the time frame from right after Bruce Wayne's parents were killed up through his like teens.
So is it all origin stories then?
All origin stories.
Okay.
Yeah. But I mean,
Oh, that's interesting.
it kind
I
of
can understand how
shows
that's
you that like Gotham has its own storyline prior to Batman's emergence. So there's like this whole the crime community
okay,
is
that
very
makes
big
sense. So it's
there.
not actually it's not a Batman show. It's Gotham. It's about
Yes,
the city itself. That makes sense, I guess.
it does. I kind of had hoped that it would be like like Smallville, where like the Clark character in Smallville was showing off all of his superhero powers and stuff as he was growing up. But in Gotham, it's not like baby Bruce Wayne goes around beating everybody up with martial arts. That doesn't happen. So I'm not as excited about it.
It's like straight up all origin stories. Do they talk about Bruce Wayne mostly or mostly villains?
It's actually the first season, at least, centered around Jim Gordon when he was like a beat cop,
Oh,
not a beat cop, like a
okay.
detective.
Okay, that makes sense.
And
Yeah, I
I'm
think
not like, and I'm not saying this. I'm not describing everything perfectly accurately. This is like based off my memories of watching the first season, and then now like well into the second or third season, I think.
yeah, I have not heard too much about it. I feel like my friends mostly like the friends that I have like two friends in particular who watch all of these shows, and it's nice because they're like my super nerdy friends. So I'm okay. So all of my friends, we each have like we're all nerds, but we all have like specialities, is what we talk about. So they're all into like the TV shows and the superheroes and like all the comic book kind of universe stuff. They know that really well, and then my other friend is like really into like the video game aspect, and he knows all of the like every game that's coming out, all the trailers that have just been released, and all that stuff. And then I'm the internet one. So I know all about I know all about like internet culture and memes and who's like internet famous and all of those things. So when we come together, we end up like educating each other about
Nice.
all of our different specialities. And so they always talk about like the shows that we need to watch in terms of like the superhero shows, and they're always talking about Agents of Shield and Arrow specifically. So I need to watch those first, I think.
Yeah, I mean, Agents of Shield is good if you, particularly if you like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, in the theaters, Marvel Cinematic Universe. Then Agents of Shield does a cool job of kind of like tying together all the different components of it.
That makes sense.
We are
Um,
also joined in the chat by Cutie Puffin Pig,
that's another good username.
the Arding Trash Can, and
Oh,
Nightlight.
oh, that one's nice. Is that a reference to Guardians of the, or no, what's it called? Rise of the Guardians, out of curiosity, or just generally Nightlight, speaking to Nightlight directly?
That's all right. Yes, asking of Nightlight, is that a reference to Rise of the Guardians? Interesting. Fan Trash, another good name, spelled
The,
Phan, Fan Trash, asks,
wait, I think I know this person.
do you watch Attack on Titan?
Yes, I want the next season so much. Have you seen Attack on Titan, Paul?
I'm familiar with it, but I have not watched it. I know that I actually know that there's also a live action movie that came out of
I saw the commercial for that. The commercial was actually pretty good. I don't know how they would pull it off. So that will be interesting. But yeah, I do watch Attack on Titan. I need to read the manga because there's more manga than there is anime, and I've finished the anime. So there's nothing left, but I want to know what happens in the cell, like in the basement that they're talking about, because they like allude to all of these things that it's like you need to pay attention to this. But there's no more anime. It doesn't exist yet because they're waiting for I want to say they're waiting for the artist to like reach a certain point in the manga before they can continue animating it. So I need to just actually read it. But you said you haven't watched it or anything at all. What do you know about it out of curiosity?
I mean, it looks like it's a play on the old what is it, kaiju type stories where like there's a giant monster attacking, but the giant monsters look like kind of like skinless human beings.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, they're like just these giant creature type things. But there's like, what are there two that don't have skin? I haven't seen it in a very long time, like the anime. But it's really, really good. Like it's too deep for me to go into. I feel like I can't do it justice with my sad words. I'm so bad at words.
I mean,
That was really good.
it's on my list. Attack on Titan is on my list.
Yeah. Um,
Uh,
another one. Another speaking of like anime, the other one that I just watched with my sister was Parasite. Do you know that one?
Parasite.
Do you watch any anime at all?
Not consistently, just here and there. Usually, if it crops up on my Netflix newly available list.
Um, Parasite was really good. That's another. He wants attention.
I'm laughing at Bowser getting right up into Echo's face every couple minutes.
Like every few minutes. I don't know. He's just upset because I'm not paying attention to him.
We're also joined in the chat by Pascal de Bomb. Hi, Pascal.
Oh, hey. Hello, lady.
We are both fans of your YouTubiness.
Yes, I love like I don't know how you do your lighting or if you're coloring your videos or something, but like the general color in your videos is beautiful.
Everybody loves Pascal's coloring. It's so good.
I don't know how she does it. I honestly don't know. Is it an effect or is it just the lighting of your room?
Yeah, give us some details, Pascal. Tell us your secrets.
Tell us all your secrets. Because I'm so curious. Because, yeah, she has, like, beautiful coloring in her videos. I don't know. Her videos make me happy.
Jeff Moboy asks if you like Death Note.
I have not finished Death Note. I have in mind. I started watching Death Note. I started watching Death Note when I was like in high school, and I loved it a lot. And I got to like the 14th episode, and then I stopped watching it for some reason. I can't remember why. So I left it. A couple years later, I was like, oh, I should watch it again. But I feel like I've forgotten everything from the first couple episodes, so I should go back and watch those. So I went back and I started watching it, and I got to like the 18th video or something, and then I stopped watching it again. So I've restarted, and I've did that multiple times. So I've literally restarted Death Note about 4 times and not finished it still because I don't want to start from the middle, which is just stupid reasoning. I need to just watch all of it before. I don't know. Is it still on Netflix? I don't even know.
What's funny is that as you're talking about this, everybody in the chat has started saying, don't spoil it for her. Nobody tell her what happens.
Please don't, because I love like I've had some little things spoiled for me with Death Note, but I want to actually I want to see it myself, and it's such a good it's such a good anime. It's so good, and I want to finish it so bad, but I just haven't yet. There's so many things I need to watch and need to finish, but I just don't have time. Moving.
Yeah, there's a lot of things I need. I have these 3 books sitting next to me here in my to be read pile that are part of the beginning of a very long series, and I've only just scratched the surface of them. So I understand what you mean. I get it. Oh, by the way, Pascal responded to say that what she does is color correction in Final Cut Pro X. That is amazing what you can accomplish with such simple skill tools there.
Yeah.
The Arting Trash Can asks, which Pokemon team are you on?
Oh, this is terrible. I hate the stupid. I'm making a comic right now about how. Oh, am I allowed to swear?
Yes.
Good. Okay. Well, I'm making a comic right now that I'm going to put on Twitter at some point called "How Not to Be an Asshole at Pokemon Go," because so many people are taking the teams so far, and it's just.
It makes no sense. They're just colors. They don't do anything for you.
It's so infuriating, and it's like I can feel myself buying into it, and it's irritating. But I'm Valor, and once again, I picked it because red. It's like it's on brand. It's my favorite color, and now I get all these like ridiculous people like trying to like force stereotypes onto me. Like, oh, you like steal gems at 2 a.m., don't you? And like, I'm like, no, calm down. I just picked it because it's my favorite color, and like so I'm making this comic, just a short like a mini comic that I'm just gonna put on Twitter about how not to be an asshole at Pokemon Go with like little things like don't try and stereotype people based on their team just because like you don't know why they picked that color or why they picked their team. It could be because like it's just the team that all of their friends were on, or it was just a color they liked. And a lot of people picked it before they had released like the team members.
Leaders.
Yeah. Before they released like the team leaders. So no one knew. We just picked.
Yeah.
when it
Yeah,
first came out.
I ended up on Team Mystic just because I don't know, like the description seemed the neatest to me of the three descriptions, but like I have no particular loyalty to it. It's just a thing.
Yeah, and people are taking it so far. It's scary.
It's a little scary.
Right, with like
Uh,
my sister and I, because my sister's Team Instinct, and so we were last night. We went to the front of the complex because the at the front of her complex there's this fountain and it's a gym, and it's constantly trading hands. But whenever it's Instinct or yeah, whenever it's Instinct, we'll like walk up there so that she can prestige it. And like with the dog, it's funny. We're out walking him at this point. Like there have been points where we've been walking him and we'll have to drop him off so we can continue playing Pokemon Go because like we walked up last night and it was like really late. It was like at 10 or something. So we sat down, so like she was prestiging the gym, and like this car pulled up like in front of her, and they were like instinct or val or yeah no instinct or mystic or no what was it what's the one with the worst blood feud, mystic and valor, but they were like yeah mystic or valor, and she's like I'm instinct, and so they pulled up slightly forward and then they sat there in their car battling, like tearing down all of the prestige work that she'd just done to try and get her Pokemon into the gym.
that's
And then, like,
ridiculous.
and then she like got up, she's like, okay, whatever, they're just gonna take the gym, there's nothing I can do, I'm just gonna have to come back and redo this later. So she got up and she left and they drove off. And it's like, what was that about? Why?
That is very assholish behavior.
I know. And like, how are you supposed to answer that? Like, you're sitting there like just playing a video game and a car pulls up to you and they're like, what team are you on? It's kind of terrifying. Just
It's a little creepy.
bit. It's very creepy. It's really creepy.
We're also joined in the chat by Lucy Huffman. Lucy Huffman, whose first thing that I saw was I caught it. So I'm not sure what you caught, but congratulations, Lucy.
What did you catch? Hopefully not a cold. Hopefully
tell us what you caught. But then Lucy went on to ask, what YouTubers do you watch?
Oh,
If
that's
you
a good
watch any.
question. Of course, I watch so many YouTubers. At the moment, I'm watching a lot of Dark Squid, which is Tom Ska's second channel. I love that he started doing Last Week. I don't know if you watch him at all.
What did you start doing last week?
No, Last Week is it's a vlog series where he's like vlogging his life in weeks, and they're called Last Week. So he'll vlog his week and then upload a video called Last Week, and it's like, last week I did this. And
Gotcha.
it's like, it's really cool because he's a big YouTuber. He has like an actual business, so his life is very interesting. I'm sure he feels like his life isn't very interesting, but it is. So like he just uploaded a video about like all the things that he did at Summer in the City, and all that stuff. So I've been watching a lot of his videos.
Tom Scala is a cool guy. I like the fact that like
Yeah.
he reached a point in his YouTube career, probably like a year or so ago, where he could have just like reveled in his fame and subscriber base and been as much of an asshole as he wanted to be. But instead, he decided to like call out problematic behavior amidst other YouTubers and like point and like shout out small YouTubers and stuff. Like he's doing the stuff that I want to do when I'm a big YouTuber, which is great.
He's fantastic. As a human being, he is fantastic. And I like that he's very self-aware as a human being. That makes me very happy. But I love his second channel, Dark Squid. It's like his personal kind of like vlog channel where you get to see like all the things that he does in his life. And then like his main channel, which is Tom Ska's, where he uploads all the like comedy sketches and all of those things. And they're cool, but I like vlog channels because they let you like see the person on a like more personal level, if that makes any sense. I feel like that's a huge part of why bloggers are so successful. And
I absolutely agree. Both with, I'm sorry?
Oh, you get to know the person on like a more personal level.
Exactly. I agree that I prefer that, and I think that's also why vloggers are so popular. It creates a sense of intimacy. There's a danger there as well because of that. But I mean, I understand the appeal. Rufeda in the chat says that they've got to go iron their father's clothes for tomorrow because he has work. So I think Rufeda is going to be leaving us. But thank you for tuning in when you did, Rufeda.
Yes, thank you. Bye.
What else we got in here? We're joined in the chat by someone who's named Rena J, I think. Rena J.
Hello, Rena J.
On the Pokemon Go stereotyping phenomenon. It gets so out of hand with everything these days. It's so weird, scary. I agree with you.
I completely also agree because it's pretty ridiculous. And then I feel like I see myself kind of buying into it because I'll see all of these ridiculous posts there's posts that like trash talk Valor, and there's posts that trash talk Mystic, and there's posts that trash talk Instinct. But like I'll see the ones that are like trash talking my team, and I'll feel like it'll make me more competitive, which is bad because then I feel like I'm playing into that stereotype, and I need to just brush it off and not let it affect me. But I'm bad at that. So I feel like it's making me more competitive at this game, and so I feel like I'm buying into the whole like team thing. It's so bad.
Going back to the YouTubers question, Scozio actually brought up something that I feel myself so much. I like Tom Ska, but Scozio says, not a fan of seeing his collection of guns. And I agree. Like, I like him as a person, but I can't subscribe to his videos because whenever he has his backdrop full of guns, it makes me so damn uncomfortable.
Did you see what he did?
No.
I think it was after the Orlando shooting. He took it down. He made an entire video about how he feels like he's being a hypocrite, talking about all these things in front of a wall of guns, and so he's getting rid of them. And he replaced it with this massive, like, with shelving walls of all of the things that his fans and viewers have sent him. So it's all like fan art and little statues. And he
I gotta resubscribe now.
Yeah, he
That's
made a video about it, which was like, that was like really. See, it's another thing where it's like he's self-aware, and I feel like he's just constantly getting better and better as a human being. He won an award at somewhere in the city.
Yeah.
I think it was for like the community award or something. But yeah, he took down his whole wall of guns after one of the shootings.
Holy moly! Well, much respect. I got to resubscribe to him now.
Yeah, watch his video about it. About the gun wall. It's fairly recent too. He made I think it was like a month ago, maybe.
It must have been because right around VidCon, I was checking out his videos still, and he still had his backdrop of guns. So I did not resubscribe. But now I'm going to go check that out. That's awesome. So Tom Ska / the Dark Squidge. Check it out, peoples.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, watch this video about like his gun wall because he got rid of it because of all of this ridiculous stuff that's going on.
I do. Wait a minute. What's going on here? I agree with you. Lucy Huffman says something that's interesting to me. She says, Echo, you are very relatable for someone with such a weird life. You know, exorcism and all that.
Oh, yeah.
What?
Have you not seen that video? When I was a kid, my favorite song ever was 99 Red Love Balloons. And have in mind, I just had a radio, and I think it was Saturday, they'd have like 80s night. And my favorite song ever throughout all of my childhood was 99 Red Love Balloons, but it was the German version.
Sure. And
I was a kid. I wanted to sing along with the song because it was my favorite song, but I don't speak German. And so it just sounded like gibberish to me. So I was like, I could probably just make it up. And so I just had like this gibberish that I would sing along with this song. And so I was like a really little kid, and I would be wandering around my house doing like my mom, who was very superstitious and a little bit crazy. My mom was insane. She thought that I was possessed. So instead of like, I don't know, thinking, she's just a kid, she's just being a child, she thought that I was possessed. So she went and just like this slight worry in her head. So she went to the priest at our church and was like, hey, I'm kind of worried that something's wrong with my daughter and all this stuff. And he's like, we can perform an exorcism. And all of these ridiculous horror movies like play up exorcisms like they're this like ridiculous, like terrifying, like, oh no, the person's like strapped to the bed and all this like garbage. But it's actually, it just looks like a prayer almost, or like some weird like blessing. And I was a really little kid. I had no idea what was going on. But there was just a point where I was just sitting there and my mom was like, here, just stay here and wait for a minute. And then she sent my sister down to play with the other kids. So I was just sitting alone in this church, and she like went off into like the priest person's little office and then came back, and he put his like gross fat fingers on my hair and started throwing water at me. And my mom was like holding this like bowl, and he was like, release this child in the devil's grasp. And I was like sitting there like, what is going on? I was so confused. I had no idea what was going on. So I left the church with my mom after this, and he was just like, everything should be fine now. And then like I left, and I was like, I don't know what that was. I guess this is normal. And I was just like, I guess this is just a prayer type thing that people do every now and then. Okay. And I just accepted it because I was a little kid, and it's like you just trust the adults to know what's going on. So I just let this happen, and it just faded into the back of my mind. And then I was watching American Horror Story like years later. I was sitting there, and then they're performing this exorcism, and I was like, wait, no, no. It just like it hit me like a brick wall. Like, oh my god, my mom thought I was possessed, and I remember her. She would ask me like really weird questions about that, like, "Oh, are you okay? Like, did you hear any voices or anything?" She would just. It was just like, oh, my mom was insane, and she thought I was possessed to the point where she had a priest perform an exorcism on me as a little
That's
kid.
amazing.
And so I've had
Wow.
an exorcism. I've had an exorcism, and it's one of those things where it's like, what?
Are exorcisms like vaccines where after you've had one, you're now free and clear of demons for the rest of your life?
That's in my video. I had mentioned, I was like, so is a vaccine kind of, I've been like demon free since I forget what year it happened. And it was like, or no, what did I say? Are exorcisms like a cure where I'm good now and I don't have to worry about demons, or is it more like a flu shot and I've got to get a new one every year or so? Because it's like, I don't know how this stuff works, but it's just, oh, my mom was crazy, and she used to do ridiculous things like that all the time. She was a hippie. She named her children like Echo and Jade, and it's my mom was insane.
I've met a couple of Jades, but you are definitely the only Echo I've ever met.
It's a strange name. Honestly, I'm really happy with it though. I feel
No,
like
it's
a
an
lot of
awesome
people
name.
complain about their names. I'm really content with my name. I feel like I couldn't have picked a better one. So I feel like that's probably the best thing that my mom ever gave me, aside from
It's
life. But you know,
it's pretty good. It's pretty good. We also have in the chats another great username, Detective McNope.
ooh, I like that username a lot.
And they said, this is so funny. I literally just came from that BAM video. So another BAM
Oh,
viewers here. Yay.
oh, that's nice. I think
We're joined by, I just missed them. Where'd they go? Come back. Maya Dillon in the chats, who says hi. Hi, Maya Dillon. And my friend Zainab. Hi, Zainab.
hello.
Let's see here. Rena J says, after watching your exorcism video, I realized that my mom had done the same thing.
It's weird. Okay, I swear. Okay, scary
Oh,
movies.
yeah, how many of my friends have been exorcised now?
Scary movies. They build it up and they make it look like it's this an exorcism. It's this terrifying thing, and like it's not. It's really just like this. Like there are how-to videos on like on the internet about how to like perform an exorcism, and it's just like this like simple little throw holy water and like
Oh my God. I just got an idea for a horrible sacrilegious thing where you could do like how-to videos on YouTube for religious ceremonies, but make them completely wrong. Like have an exorcism, do things like, well, you have to put a radish under their tongue. Something like that. Just something like ridiculous.
Or do things that sound slightly realistic that people might not, that they'll slightly question. Like the person must be holding like a penny in each hand.
Yes. They'll say that you have to do you have to do a Hail Mary.
Yeah, just like really, really ridiculous things that are obviously wrong, but it's like could maybe work.
Man, that would be so bad, but maybe very funny.
Very
Nightlight Productions asks, Echo, when is the first time you drew anime? Can you even remember?
Ooh, that's a really good question. I don't know if I can remember that. I'm trying to think of the first anime that I was ever exposed to. I feel like it probably was on Adult Swim because we had like basic cable when we were kids. No, it had to have been over the internet, actually. I think. Do you know who Hot Diggity Demon is?
No.
He's another viral like internet animator. And what's it called? Is it like Mark and Jane? I need to look it up. This is definitely Mark and Jane. There's baking things.
By the way, I know that you need to get ready for, you need to get going for other stuff in your day. So I'm keeping an eye on on the clock. I will let you know if we hit noon.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty much good between like 1 and noon, depending on how long. I don't know if they'll need my help. We have a friend of ours. Her baby's turning 1 today, which is really adorable. Oh
Oh,
my God! I just realized that means that she has the same birthday as Mish Collins. Oh, I'm gonna tell her that. She's not gonna have any idea what I'm talking about. But yes. So we're going to their birthday party, but instead of bringing gifts, she requested that we just do a potluck thing. So we're each having to like cook stuff, and I made a bunch of cornbread this morning before this, and then my sister's
yum.
making potato wedges, and then our roommate is making potato salad, and then we're also just gonna
Excellent.
bring a potato, just a plain potato, because my sister got in a conversation with her on Facebook and was like, she was like, "Hey, what do you bring to the party?" And my sister was like, "Potatoes." And she's like, "Okay, what kind?" She's like, "Just plain potatoes to be eaten like apples." And she was like, "Okay, Jade is bringing potato," but she left off the S, so now we're just gonna bring a
A
potato.
potato.
A
I
potato to be
mean,
eaten like an
the
apple.
French do call them the apples of the ground. So
There you go. What was the thing that I was just talking about before that? Before
when the
time.
first time you drew anime?
Oh, okay. So there's an animator named, well, I don't know what his real name is, but he is Hot Diggity Demon.
Hot diggity demon.
Hot Diggity Demon. He's an animator, and he made an animation. I want to say it was called Mark and Jane, but it's about a one-armed boy and a one-eyed girl, and they go on this like crazy adventure, like killing these massive bugs. And it's like a really short animation, but it's in kind of an anime style. That is one of the earliest ones that I can think of. So I'm not entirely sure, but I would think that was one of the earliest references that I have. I should go back through my drawings and see if I can just find one. But I feel like it was probably just like a really bad scribble that I may have.
Like, but when was that? Like, when in your life were you
Oh
watching
my
that?
gosh, I would have been.
Obviously, it was during YouTube times.
I would have been younger than 13.
Wow.
Um, I'm trying to think of. It would have had to be over the internet. Like it would have been stuff that I had seen from the internet. And when I was first exposed to the internet, we were still living in like this trailer in my hometown, and we didn't have access to the internet, but the girl down the street did, and we were friends with her, so we would go and like spend the night at her house and just like sit there. And it was like super sad too, because it was like she would be on the internet and we would just sit behind her and watch. Like, we wouldn't even like to be
Aww.
doing anything. Like we would watch her play RuneScape, and then
Aww.
like it's so sad. So like for the majority of part, it was like very passive absorbing the internet. So we would just like kind of watch her internet, um, and like help influence her decisions a little bit. Like we were like, oh, what's that one, and like all of those things.
That's
And then we started
hilarious.
going to the library because we realized that like they had internet. It wasn't as good as hers, but it was, internet.
Yeah, you can sit at your own computer.
Yes, and actually do our own things. And we played a lot of Neopets.
Oh, I love Neopets.
Loved Neopets. But to answer her question, I honestly don't remember. I don't remember when the first time I would have drawn anime was, because I would have been between like 10 and 12 years old. So really, really young. Um,
Wow.
yeah.
And look at you now.
Yeah, right? I need to make a comic book or do something with my art skills.
What 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 do you have in mind as like, I mean, I don't know if you think of yourself as having a future point when you'll be a grown up, because I still do. I'm like 40 something years old, and I'm still thinking at some point when I grow up I'll do this.
Right. I feel like I'll never grow up. I'm gonna be a Toys R Us kid. I'm probably I want to make a comic book. Like I have like general life goals that I want, like adult-y type things that I want to do in my life, and publishing a comic book is one of them. That's something that I really, really do want to do. And I have tons of ideas for them. I just have to sit down and boil it all down and figure out exactly what I want to do with those ideas and then do it. Yeah. I'm not too worried about the actual like getting it published. It's just the actual labor of sitting down and doing it. And like worst comes to worst, I could always self-publish. I don't know. I'll sort it out. I'll do it eventually. I'll figure it out. That's
Yeah,
part of why I'm like getting my master's degree at the university that I'm working at, because it's kind of like a build your own program, if that makes any sense. So I
Nice.
kind of want to cater it to that. And then you get to work with like people who are from like the professional illustration field to kind of develop what you're doing. Dude. Yeah, so I kind of want to work towards developing a comic book.
That's really cool. Do you think it'll just be like a one-off, or do you think it's going to be a series?
I feel like it would probably be just a one-off type thing. Kind of like, what's his name? The guy who did Scott Pilgrim, his second book, Seconds. I don't know
Okay.
if you've ever read that. I would
I have
imagine it would be
not.
something a little bit like that. It's really good. Have you ever read the Scott Pilgrim comic books at all?
I've only watched the movie.
Yeah, I haven't read the books. I know I've like studied his artwork a bit. But I need what's it called? Scott Pilgrim versus the World is another comic book series that's on my reading list.
Same.
There's so many comic books I have to read. Seconds is really good though. If you just want like an introduction to his style, kind of. It's the one that he made afterwards, and that one is a one-off comic book.
Seconds. I'll have to look out for that. Somebody in the chat asked, I think Hats asked, how long is this? I usually make my live shows go on for, I schedule them for 2 hours. If we go a little bit under, if we go a little bit over, that's all fine. I'm not in a big hurry. I don't have other pressing things to do, but it's really dependent on Echo's schedule. So Echo, we can keep on going for as long as you like.
I can imagine noon at the earliest, 1 at the latest.
Okay, so right now we are on Pacific time, so it is 11:22 as we are talking about this right now, which gives us about 40 minutes at least to go.
Yeah.
Something that I wanted to ask you myself. I'm sorry, what's that?
It's just kind of a casual conversation.
Yeah, absolutely. Lucy Hoffman says it's Brian Lee O'Malley is the artist name.
Yes, that's his name, Brian Lee O'Malley. He's the one who does Scott Pilgrim in Seconds. It's really good. I read it in like 2 hours, 2 or 3 hours. I didn't mean to. I saw it in the library and I brought it home with me. Because when I go to other places, I'll use like public libraries for their internet, or at least when I go to my sister's place.
Just like when you were a kid.
Yeah, exactly. It's free internet, and so I'll like go there and use their internet access. And I have a library card from there still, and my sister's library card. So I checked out Seconds, and I got home and sat down, and I started it thinking, okay, I'll just read a couple pages so I can get kind of with the gist of it. And I read the entire thing in like 2 or 3 hours. It was a really good comic book. It's like a really good graphic novel. He did a really good job with it.
That is very cool.
I want to say he had someone else coloring it too. So I feel like he worked with a couple of people. But it was really good. It was a really good one. Definitely one I would recommend.
There's lots of comments in the chat about Bowser and how, and in particular, Annie Lou 9019 says Bowser looks like Sirius Black in dog form.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
Bella, did you hear that? He's falling asleep. Yeah, he's freaking adorable. I'm so sad because I don't live here. I move different places and everything, but I'll stay here for like 2 or 3 weeks between like leases and stuff like that, or when I'm like traveling, I'll be here for a while. And he likes me a lot because I work from home, doing like YouTube and illustration stuff. So I spend a lot of time with him, and apparently when I leave, he gets really depressed.
Aww.
And he gets all pouty, and he'll just like sleep on my pillow. The pillow that I use while I'm here.
That's adorable.
Be miserable, and I feel so bad for him because he doesn't know that I'm about to leave for a year. So it's like I leave and then I'll come back in like a month or so, and he gets really, really happy again. And he's just like super happy and excited, and then I leave and he's super sad, and now it's gonna be like a long, long time before I see him again.
Oh,
bad for him. But he misses me. It's so cute. But he doesn't know what's about to happen, so I feel so bad for him. I can't even warn him.
Poor dog. I love dogs. Claire Augustin has been asking, what is your opinion on Halloween and the Day of the Dead?
In general?
I think so.
I like the holiday. I know it's become very commercial, but there's certain parts about that I enjoy, mainly because I like the idea of having a day where cosplay is like normal. It's like, yeah, I like that. I don't know.
Do you dress up yourself very much?
Oh, my friends and I, we used to every year, even in college, just because it's fun. It's really fun to like dress up and like do cosplay type stuff. And when we were going to college, there's this street by ASU called Mill, and it's just like mainly like shops and everything. But it's where like all the college students go to like hang out and everything. 'Cause there's like bars and all kinds of stuff. But on Halloween, they block it off completely because that's where everyone goes just to show off their costumes, and that's like the whole point of it. I swear, everyone just gets together with their friends and they'll like go out and get ice cream and stuff, and they'll just walk Mill, and
That's
that's what
cool.
it's called, like walking Mill. So we would all dress up and then we'd go and walk Mill and see all of the awesome costumes and everything. One year I was Juno.
Oh, the
Yeah,
pregnant Juno?
yeah, like the pregnant Juno, and so like I don't know, I've had people tell me that I have a face like her, so I was like, oh, I should go for her at Halloween. So I dressed up as Juno and I posted a bunch of pictures online, and I got so many people from my high school who were like, oh, congratulations. I was like,
No.
no. No, it's a cost. I'm posting this on Halloween. What do you think? It was kind of sad. And I was like, okay, clearly I need to unfriend you because you don't know me at all. Oh, it was really bad.
Too funny. On Twitter, Brian Lee did a very quick comic about our talking about Orange,
Wait, really? What?
apparently, and they tagged us, so I retweeted it.
Okay, I need to check this out.
Let's see here. What else is going on in the chat here? Ooh, Artsy Llama asks a really interesting question. Oh, but first I'm going to say that, where did it go? I just missed it. Where did it go? Come back, come
I love the
back.
orange comic. It makes me happy.
Darn it, I lost it. Steakachino, my friend Sabrina, says that my live shows are never long enough. Thank you, Sabrina.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yay. And then Artsy Llama asks this really cool question. Are there any cartoons that you think should never have been made?
Ooh.
Unmake a cartoon.
I have some that I'm kind of bitter about, and I feel bad because I know that other people do like them, but Teen Titans Go makes me sad. Like
Yes.
when they were like, "Oh, we're bringing back Teen Titans," I was so hopeful and happy, and then I saw the animation style, and it's so cheap. I mean, I understand that like the traditional Teen Titan style is a really expensive thing to make because the animation is really high quality.
So
But that's
good.
part of the reason why I loved it.
Yep.
And when they brought it back and made it cheaper, it just made me sad. But I feel like I need to go back and watch all of it. That's another reason I'm sad it kind of exists, because I need to watch it for the plot, just to because I want to know what's going on in that universe, if that makes any sense.
Well, that's the reason. I mean, I watched it for like the first season and a half, I think, and I started getting frustrated because I remember watching an episode, and at the end of that episode, like something weird would have happened, like somebody would have been blown up or whatever, and then there's no consequence to it. Like the next episode is just another like slice of life episode.
They made it too cartoony.
It's too cartoony.
It's weird. Yeah, that's a weird way to say it, but it's too much of a cartoon now.
Yeah, I mean it's too episodic. I liked the original Teen Titans because even though there were like, you know, baddies of the week, it had like an arc. There was development and stuff.
Yeah.
Like I loved seeing Tara come on the original series.
Yeah.
And, like I wanted to see what happened with her and Deathstroke. That was all so cool.
I loved that she couldn't control her powers, that they took that into consideration. That made me so happy because that makes me feel like this is a teenage superhero. She's
exactly.
Still learning.
Like no teenage superhero should have any control over their powers because it's freaking puberty.
Yeah, exactly. And I love that it's like she's still learning to control her powers. And that made me really happy when I was a kid because it was just like she felt more real. But yeah, the Teen Titans Go is too cartoony for me. I was so sad when I saw it because they had all these previews and I thought, oh, they're just doing this like cutesy animation for the previews as like it's like a teaser thing to bring it back. But no, it made me so sad when it actually came out. So Teen Titans Go. I'm sorry if you really love that show because I know there are people who do, but it makes me sad. Teen Titans Go makes me sad.
I mean, I concur with you. But that wasn't the one that I immediately thought of. What I immediately thought of was the Ben 10 series, like not the second one, maybe the third of the. There have been so many Ben 10 series.
I have not. Okay, see, I feel like I can't weigh in on it because I stopped watching it. I think I watched the first half-ish part of the first series that they had going on because I like the animation.
The
Because
first
it's that
series was
good,
great.
like, yeah, it's a good animation. But I kind of stopped watching it. I don't know what it was that I didn't completely like about it. Maybe it was a continuity thing. I'm not sure. But yeah, I never really got that into it. But
The first one was great because like it was always exciting to see Ben discovering new things on his Omni whatever, and then the second one he basically got an upgrade, so he had like cooler versions of creatures. So the second series was also fun. Again, it was like discovering new things. There was even like a couple of episodes where they had like a fake version of Doctor Who just appear as like a professor character in Ben 10, and that was kind of fun. I like that.
in the first series? In the first season?
I think so.
I don't know if I noticed that.
Maybe it may have been the second season.
Before I started watching Doctor Who. Maybe that's why I didn't notice it.
It's possible because it wasn't overt. He was just like a guy in a lab coat, but he would like walk through time and then just appear and like know all these different things and like tell Ben Tennyson, Mr. Tennyson, you have to do such and such now or whatever. So I like that. But then afterwards, it just got like very repetitive. Yes, Paradox. Thank you, Tez, Kaylee in the chats. Paradox was the character. But the later series just got repetitive, and it seemed like Ben was never learning anything. He was like never growing up as a character, and that bugged me. I don't like that.
Yeah, I can't remember when I stopped watching it, but I know I didn't watch past the first season.
Gesundheit.
Or the first series or section of it, whatever you want to call it.
Oh, speaking of the Doctor Who parody character, Paradox, Gesundheit.
Oh, I think it's the doc. Dude, why are you making me allergy?
All that dander from Bowser.
It could be.
But coincidentally, Claire Augustin asks, who is your favorite doctor and Doctor's companion from Doctor Who?
I don't know about companion. I think I want to say Tennant.
Tennant is my doctor. 10 is my doctor.
Oh, he did it so well. He's just perfect. And he's funny, and he's like.
He's funny. He cries. He's serious. He's dramatic. He's kind of sexy. He's everything.
Yeah, exactly. He's just a well-rounded actor and character, and he just played it super freaking well. I loved it.
I did grow to like Matt Smith's character, the 11th, more and more as I watched.
That's pretty good too.
Yeah, and before Tennant came along, Tom Baker, the fourth Doctor, was my doctor.
Yeah, he was my first Doctor.
Same.
Yeah, I started watching with the reboot in 2012, 11. When did they reboot it and put it on Netflix? I don't remember. But that was when I had started watching it. But Tennant just did it so well. Like, he's just really, really good. And I'm sure I'm being like, that's like the stereotypical answer, but he did it well. He did a really good job with that. In terms of companions, I don't know. What's the name of, I can't remember her name. What is her name? With the curly red hair, she's a little bit older.
Curly red hair, older?
Yeah, she's a little bit older.
River Song?
No, she's like one of the, I want to say she was Tennant's actual companion. Not Rose.
Not Amy Pond.
Not Amy Pond. I can't remember her name. Oh, I feel so bad. But she's like one of the companions that isn't the stereotypical like girl in her 20s.
Do you mean Donna Noble?
Yeah, Donna Noble. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
She was, I don't know, I liked her because she was a little bit sassier. She broke the stereotype. I think I liked that probably.
I don't know why, but curly red hair like completely.
Does she have curly red hair? Am I imagining that?
Did not bring up Donna Noble at all. I mean, it was kind of wavy, I guess. She did have red hair. She definitely was ginger.
Volume.
She had volume to her hair, yes.
I'm gonna Google.
Donna Noble was great. The Dr. Donna concept was just so brilliant and so heartbreaking.
Okay, it was more wavy. It wasn't really curly, but it was red hair.
It was red hair.
It had a good amount of volume. Yeah, it's not really curly at all. a little bit wavy. But yeah,
Let's
she
see
has
here.
pretty straight hair. Yeah, I think I
Jeff
kind of
in the
want to
chat says that he can't hear or see the video. Is anybody else having difficulties seeing or hearing the video? Let us know.
Are you on mobile or desktop, out of curiosity?
That's a question for Jeff.
Yes.
Yes. Jeff, are you on mobile or desktop? My Don Noble was excellent. Like I like all the reboot companions with Tennant a lot, but I'm gonna say that my favorite companion has to be Sarah Jane Smith. Like she was there with like Tom Baker, she was there with Peter Davison for a minute. She was there. She came back for the reboot and met the Doctor in School Reunion.
Oh.
I love Sarah Jane Smith.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I have not watched anything pre-reboot. I need to, but I haven't. Like all this the earlier stuff from before they brought it back. Although I have a friend who wants to have a Doctor Who marathon at some point. I don't know when we're going to do that now that I'm leaving the country. But
oops.
It's like there's so many. Yeah, I need to write out everything I'm doing for the next 2 weeks because that's all I have. And then I'm not going to be in the US. I'm not going to be in the United States anymore for a while.
I'm glad I snagged you before you left the country.
Otherwise, it just would have been a weird time difference.
Yes, I mean it would be fine. I've done a live show with somebody in the UK before, but this is certainly more convenient.
Yeah, while we're in the same time zone.
Yes, exactly. Let's see. I would say that the original Doctor Who's are pretty darn good, but you know the pacing of it is of a bygone era. Like it always feels like the stories in the old Doctor Who's are enormous. They feel like they go on for years watching them because they just unfold so slowly compared to the reboot episodes. But that being said, like I've enjoyed the episodes from. I didn't really much care for the first Doctor very much, but I liked the second Doctor. I liked the fourth Doctor and the fifth Doctor. I really liked Sophie Aldred and McCoy as Sylvester McCoy as doctors. They were really great. And a Doctor and Companion.
We always go to the Doctor Who panels that they have at Comic-Con in Phoenix. They're always really good. But we went to this one, and it was like every episode you need to see from every Doctor, and it's like they pulled one episode for each Doctor that they felt worked really well. And I need to go back through that list because I still have it and just watch those at least. But they also showed us this one clip, and I feel like it's from Doctor Who, but I could be misremembering this, where like bad guy starts with an M. What's the other Time Lord?
The Master?
The Master, yes. Okay. The Master has like some guy eaten by an inflatable chair. The funniest clip because it's like plastic is this crazy new thing. I don't even know, but it's like slightly misunderstood. But like they have this like inflatable chair, and he like makes this guy sit down on it, and because it's all acting, you have to have this guy who's pretending to be eaten by an inflatable chair that is just slowly deflating. So he's just sitting there like, like being eaten alive by this inflatable chair. And that's the funniest thing ever to look back on. I need to see if I can find it at some point, just because it's so funny.
That is hilarious. Oh my gosh. I noticed in the chat that Annie Lou says that they know nothing about Doctor Who. So Annie Lou, if you want to ask another question, we can try to answer that for you.
Yeah, anything like TV shows, movies, general culture, the internet. What are you interested in? What's that?
Somebody brings up RWBY. Do you watch that? I've watched that.
Oh, Ruby, yes.
Yes.
I've seen the first part. I haven't seen the new one that just came out.
There's new ones? Okay.
I want to say, right? They just came out with the second season. I have my sister's husband is way more into it than I am. I found out about it because of him, like through exposure of like friends and family and stuff.
I've only watched a couple episodes. It's neat. I like the animation style. I like the weapons with the colors. That's really cool. But for whatever reason, it just didn't draw me in.
Yeah, I feel like that's part of why I haven't. For me, the main thing I really like is the music. I feel like they did a really good job with the music. The
Music's very
animation
cool.
bugs me a little bit. I don't know why.
Is it like the cell shading aspect
It
to it?
it might be. That's like the one thing that like bugs me a tiny bit. It just seems. I think it might be the way that they shift too is still very like, still just like slightly robotic. But I don't know. It's YouTube, and they did a really good job considering like they don't have access to like millions of dollars to pay animators to do like super smooth animations and all of that stuff. I don't know though. It's done by Rooster Teeth, isn't it?
Yes, it's done by Rooster Teeth. And I'm also not that familiar with Rooster Teeth. I feel like I'm a bad interneter because I'm not like all over all the Rooster Teeth productions, and I don't know like Bernie Burns and all those other people. But like, I don't know. I just never got into that.
With yeah, like I'm not. I don't watch Rooster Teeth, but um I kind of live with someone who watches a lot of them, so I do get like that exposure to them that way. But there are so many YouTubers that I know of and who like I don't know, like I've heard of, but I don't watch. So I feel like that's just how it is. Like in every YouTuber, every person who makes YouTube videos, there's a massive like group of people who make YouTube videos, and there's you know a lot of their names and you watch some of their content, but not
Yeah.
all of their content. It's like I know about Fun for Louie. I don't watch his videos. I know like a bunch of other British YouTubers and like other American YouTubers, or like who is it? Hannah Hart.
Hannah
I know
Hart.
of her. I know a lot of like I've watched a bunch of her videos, but I don't watch all of her videos constantly. I follow her on Snapchat and Twitter, so I like get exposure to her through that way. But I don't constantly watch all of her videos like I do with Dottle or like Dottle Vloggle. With her channel, I will watch like every single video that she uploads.
Oh, she's a sweetheart. I'm going to actually run to the bathroom, but while I do, I'm going to leave you with two questions that you can answer from our chat. One question is, have you seen Suicide Squad? And you can speak to what your thoughts on that movie. And then the second question is similarly, have you seen Captain America: Civil War and your thoughts on that movie? And then I'll be right back.
All right, cool. I'm gonna sit here and take over your podcast for a moment. Then, hi guys, how are you? I feel like I should probably pull up the chat. Let's take over the chat for a moment. Okay, first of all, Suicide Squad. I have not seen it. I do want to see it. I have to go see it in theaters. I'm very hesitant and a little bit worried because I've heard pretty much mostly bad reviews about it. I have heard a couple really good reviews, but I don't know. Suicide Squad. I want to see it mainly because it's like Harley Quinn's first live action appearance, and I'm worried that they mess it up, but I don't know. I'm gonna go through the chat really quick. Yay. Lucy Huffman says, what are your guys' favorite animes? I just watched Parasite. That one was really good. Overall, my favorite anime is Fooly Cooly. It's a really good anime. It's only 6 episodes. I recommend it every time someone asks me what my favorite anime is. Excitement. I'm like temporarily taking over this podcast. But yes, if you need an anime that's only like 6 episodes, I recommend Fooly Cooly. I don't know if I've seen Civil War. That was the other question, right? Civil War?
What did I miss?
I just looked at the chat and answered a couple questions. I haven't seen Suicide Squad. I couldn't remember what the other one was. I think you said Civil War.
Yes, Civil War.
Okay, in terms of Suicide Squad, I feel like I've heard nothing but bad reviews. Well, I've heard some good, really glowing reviews and some really bad reviews, but the problem is that I don't know how much I can trust reviews because people are super critical of DC movies, which I don't know, can be fair. They've got a lot to live up to with how well Marvel does superhero movies.
Yeah, I mean, DC has a different sentiment to it. It's about that dark. It's about that dark, gritty, realistic feel to it. I didn't see Batman versus Superman. I didn't see Suicide Squad. I did see the Man of Steel. I did see Man of Steel, and I realized that is the tone that they're setting for the whole DC cinematic universe, and it's not a tone that I like. I respect it. It's fine. It's a well done movie, I guess, but
it
it's
doesn't
just not mine.
draw me in and make me want to watch more, like a lot of Marvel movies do.
Yeah,
I feel like with Marvel, they make me want to be a superhero, but
they're fun. Even when they're bad, they're still fun.
Yeah. Marvel does movies well. So I need to watch Suicide Squad. That is probably maybe Monday. I should go. That's when I get paid. I should go and watch Suicide Squad because it's a movie that I need to see. Because Harley Quinn is a huge part of my life.
Yeah, I'd be very interested in seeing your your take, your feelings about that version of Harley Quinn.
See, when they were first doing it, they were like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna go back and we're gonna do the traditional costume, like red and black, like the checkered one." And then there was apparently a bunch of like fan outrage because they were like, "That's not the Suicide Squad Harley Quinn. Why would you go back to classic Harley?" So they went back to the Suicide Squad one. At least that's what my understanding of it was, because originally they did want to go back to like the classic Harley Quinn because I want to say it's probably the most popular and that's the most Harley Quinn. Like that's the merchandise that they sell everywhere is the red and black and everything.
The Echo version, if you will.
Exactly, yes. I like that. So, I don't know, when I found out that they were changing it and doing the like updated version where she's like booty shorts and like the stereotype, like where she fills in the like stereotypical check mark boxes for a woman in a comic book.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The
like, that made me sad.
The Arkham Asylum look?
Yeah, that made me sad. Because it was like she was this really unique character that was like unlike any other character I'd seen in the universe, and then they like took her and forced her into that Play-Doh mold of all the other like female characters in the comic book series, and that made me kind of sad just because I liked how different she was. That was like one of the main reasons that I liked her, was because I remember, okay, this is really sad. I remember being a really, really little kid and thinking, oh, I can never be a superhero or like a supervillain or any of those things because I don't like wearing swimsuits. And I was like, it's not fair. Like, I just thought like, oh, that's the uniform if you want to be a superhero. And I was like, I don't want to run around wearing a swimsuit all day. That's just a really uncomfortable uniform. And so I was like, I can never be a superhero because I don't want to be like run around in a swimsuit. Swimsuits are uncomfortable. And then here comes Harley Quinn in her full-on jumpsuit where her costume, like a lot of other like male like superhero characters, is more clothes than she normally wears.
Yeah.
Because she's trying to conceal her identity kind of thing.
Exactly.
And so I was like, oh wait, maybe I don't have to wear a swimsuit. I could actually just make up my own costume kind of thing. And it like, I don't know, that was one of the things that like broke it away for me and made me realize like, oh, I guess I don't actually have to. But it just shows like kids absorb this stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But yeah. Made me so sad. Just looking back on it and remembering that, like finding like old diary entries and stuff.
I mean, I definitely understand where that experience, what that feeling comes from, because I have numerous memories of as a kid, all the way up through college, even in college actually, where I would think, I wish that I could be a such and such type of character that I'm familiar with in popular media, but I can't be because I'm an Asian kid, and Asian kids are never that.
Yeah,
so I get it.
Yeah, it's so bad, and it's like kids pick up on this stuff. They do, they really do. It's infuriating. But just looking back on it and thinking, like, I shouldn't have thought like that. I shouldn't.
I mean, we shouldn't have. But again, we think things that we're taught to think. That's how human beings work. We think the things that we're taught to think, and it is the outliers of us who fight that and who try to think other things. It's hard. Oh, actually, Rena J brings up a good example today. You'd probably like Jessica Jones. She wears jeans, t-shirts, leather jackets, kicks butt.
I haven't finished it yet, but I started it on Netflix. It's good. And so Tennant as a villain, he's terrifying.
So scary.
Terrifying. He plays it so well.
He is scariest when he's acting like he is not a bad guy. Like he's like, why are you so freaking out about me? I'm not a bad guy. I just care about you. No, you're a villain, David Tennant.
He's terrifying in Jessica Jones. He played that so well. Like, oh, it's terrifying. He did it so well. He's a good actor. He's such a good actor.
Such a good actor. But that series though, as much as I love and respect the Jessica Jones series, it is just chock full of triggering content. So much.
Yeah, it's really bad. It's pretty terrifying. It's it's one of those things that like you have to know what you're getting into, otherwise it's But
I
yeah,
mean,
like
it's good,
there's
but
really twisted stuff in it too.
yeah, there's the like of all. It is a Marvel show that confronts the idea of consent and really kind of tears it apart.
Hmm.
And I applaud it so much for that. But gosh, it makes it stressful to watch.
And the what's the other one? Like one part of it that really stands out to me is like the kidney thing. Uh, but yeah, just like he has the most terrifying power. It it's like his power is to take people's free will, and that's terrifying if you believe in free will and all that jazz. But it's well written and it's a very interesting series. And they cast once again the casting in it is fantastic. I just need to actually go through and sit down and watch it all.
Yeah, up until Doctor Strange, I applauded every single one of Marvel's casting choices.
Why Doctor Strange? I haven't seen it. I've seen like I think one or two.
It's not out yet, but they cast the Ancient One character, like the venerable old ancient Asian character, as
Mm-hmm.
Tilda Swinton, the whitest white person.
Mm.
You may know Tilda Swinton from like
I know.
um, Only Lovers Left Alive or something like that. The Two Old Vampires movie.
Oh, I know her.
Yeah.
Where is she from? I've seen her somewhere else.
There's a weird game happening in the chat right now where people are saying the word pie, P-I-E, if either you or me are their favorite YouTuber.
Oh, that's cute.
It's adorable. I am going to say that it's you mostly.
Oh, well, I did tweet this out, so I can imagine a lot of people are coming over from my Twitter.
Oh, yeah. Most of these people are from you, and I love it. It's great.
Oh God, what was the other thing that I was gonna say about the casting? Oh, what is it like the ridiculous casting fiasco that happened with Ghost in the Shell?
Oh, Scarlett
That
Johansson.
one,
Yes.
that one made me sad. That one
That's
just made me sad.
very frustrating.
Because I remember watching, not super often, but I remember watching Ghost in the Shell on Adult Swim when I was younger. And I feel like it could have been done so much better. But it's just another actress we've seen way too often.
Yep. It is a shame.
I mean, nothing against Scarlett Johansson. She's an amazing actress, and
I love her as Black Widow. She's fantastic.
but I feel like she's not right for this part.
No, she is not a Japanese woman.
Mm-hmm. Japanese American, isn't it? Right?
Either. She has no Japanese in her, as far as I know.
I don't know. It's just I feel like it's not the right casting choice. But I'll have to. I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, I'm boycotting Ghost in the Shell. I was gonna see that. I was gonna see it, but not with Scarlett Johansson as the main character. No,
I
negative.
swear I know Tilda Swinton from something else. Oh, didn't she play the Queen? Yeah, that's what I'm seeing her from. That's what she's from.
Yep, literally the White Witch.
Okay, I remember her now. She did a really good job with that one.
I mean, she's a fantastic actress. She can act like nobody's business, but she can't be an Asian man. She can't. I mean, even if she was an Asian woman, she can't be an old Asian ancient one. She just can't be. Sorry.
What was the other thing I was gonna say? When you were talking about pie, for a minute I thought they were talking about what's it called? The Dean thing.
The Dean thing.
Because Dean is all about
always
pie.
gets pie at all the diners.
I see. I'm actually looking at the chat right now. I see a couple of people came from Instagram. Oh, Clara Gaston says, right behind the Matrix, what is your favorite movie? What's your favorite movie, Paul?
My favorite movie is Stranger Than Fiction.
Stranger Than Fiction. Oh, yeah, okay. With what's his name?
Will Ferrell?
Yeah, that one's good.
I love it. I love it because it takes the idea of a character in a story being real, and then it kind of like really runs with it and the consequences of that, potentially if that character's life is in danger. I love it.
It reminds me of I finally saw Cabin in the Woods.
Oh, I like that too.
I didn't think that I was gonna like it just because I thought it was another scary movie just based on the trailers and stuff. And so I've completely brushed it off. And then someone was telling me like, oh no, it's not a scary movie. It's just like a self-aware movie about scary movies.
Yep.
And so I ended up watching it. It was really good. But in terms of favorite movies, I don't know what my favorite one behind The Matrix is. I usually have, for favorites, because it's always a very common question, I always have like a default favorite and then a current favorite, because the current favorite is constantly changing.
Yeah.
So my default favorite movie is The Matrix, because that had like a really big impact on me when I was a kid. Just like in terms of like the way that I thought about reality.
Mm-hmm.
And then, what is my favorite movie right now? I don't even know. I can't even remember what the last one I watched was.
I mean, I can tell you that my favorite movie right now is Ghostbusters.
I haven't seen it. Is it still in theaters?
I think it's still in theaters, and I really loved it. I thought it was fantastic.
I heard a bunch of people say that like there's certain parts of the comedy that are really good, but the overall plot isn't that great, just as a movie. But I feel like that's another one of those things that I just need to see to be able to put my own like opinions on. Same thing with Suicide Squad. I feel like I have to actually see it before I can say whether it's a good or bad movie.
I mean, that's why I went to see an advanced screening of Kubo and the Two Strings, because well, the artwork is possibly the most gorgeous Japanese-inspired artwork I've ever seen in a non-Japanese film. And Leica did a really great job of animating it. However, it is 100% stealing ideas from Japanese culture and folklore, and 2 Asian people are cast in it. That's it. It's all white. It's so flippin' white. It drives me nuts.
Mm.
Is
that one out yet?
Yeah, it's just out to yesterday.
That's another one I need to see.
Yeah.
Just because of the artwork mainly.
I mean, the artwork really is. Like, I cannot say enough about how great the artwork is. But, man, just like the whole production, I went into it thinking it couldn't be that bad. It couldn't be that whitewashed. But it is. It's so damn whitewashed. I was just mad. I was simultaneously loving the art and mad at the story the entire hour and a half of the film.
The other thing that I wanted to, what was I going to say? I think that my current favorite movie, now that I think about it, is Lilo and Stitch.
Oh, Lilo and Stitch is so good.
It's so good. My sister and I both agree that it's a better sister movie than Frozen. Frozen is good too, but I feel like it's just frustrating that everyone is like, oh, it's the first Disney sister movie, and it's like, no, because isn't Lilo and Stitch it's Disney? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's definitely Disney. It's all over Disneyland.
And it's maybe it's just me. I like Lilo and Stitch a little bit better than Frozen, and I know that Frozen is a movie that a lot of people love, but Frozen was ruined for me. I was really upset about that, like, because I was sitting in like a studio or something, like back in school, and Frozen had just come out in theaters, and my friend came over and he was like, oh hey, like I just saw Frozen with my kids, and I was like, oh, no spoilers please, because I want to be able to absorb this movie like as a whole and everything. And he did that stupid thing where he was like, oh yeah, don't worry, I won't spoil it for you. I just wanted to say that it's not about like stereotypical like princess love, it's about sisterly love. And it's like, that's the whole plot. That's the whole twist ending. That it's not about, like, the stereotypical princess, like, romance. It's about, like, sisterly love. That's the whole plot. Like, I'm assuming that everyone at this point has seen Frozen. So I'm sorry if I just ruined it for you. But
I mean, 2 years after the fact, you don't have to...
Yeah, it's like if you haven't seen it at this point or haven't had it ruined for you, just I'm doing you the horrible dishonor of ruining the movie for you, as it was ruined for me.
Nice.
That made me so sad.
I mean, I think even if it hadn't been spoiled for you, I would still say that Lilo and Stitch is probably a better sister movie than Frozen, because in Frozen, the sisters do a really bad job of caring for each other until the end.
Yeah.
Like, the entire movie, they suck as sisters. They don't communicate. They don't support each other. They just
don't
like...
see each other.
And that's a large part due to their parents, but that still means that they end up as being kind of sucky sisters. Yeah. On the other hand, Lilo and Stitch, Lilo is abandoned. Lilo doesn't have her parents, but she's got her sister, and that relationship is so beautiful.
They played the whole sisterly relationship so well. Like, while she's trying to climb in through the dog door, and she's like, I'm gonna cook you and boil you into a stew and like feed it to the social worker. And it's like, that's how sisters work. We like
Yep.
yell
Yes.
empty threats at each other. And it's just like the way that they interact with each other is just so much more sisterly. Or like when she's like, get out, I need to make a wish, and she's like, oh no, oh, I'm like losing control, and she like just like goes limp and like push her out. That's how sisters work.
That is exactly how sisters work. That's perfect. As my friend Steakachino says in the chat, the Frozen sisters are barely a family at all, whereas Lilo and Nani are an incredible unit together. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're fantastic. I love Lilo and Stitch. That's probably my favorite movie at the moment.
That is a good favorite movie to have.
Yeah. Also, Stitch is freaking adorable.
Yes, Stitch is adorable.
Stitch.
Project, what is it, 626 or whatever?
Yes. Oh, did you see all the stuff about how what was it? That was when was it marriage equality? When it passed was 626.
No, I didn't know that.
There were all of these beautiful things. I'm never gonna forget that too. When like international, not internationally, like but countrywide, like marriage equality was like officially passed on 626. And so all these people were like posting pictures of like Stitch saying like Ohana means family, family means no one gets left behind.
Oh, yay!
I'm never gonna forget that now. So yeah, 626.
That's so cute.
626. It's so perfect. I'm never gonna forget
perfect.
that. So yes, if you ever need to remember the date that, am I imagining that? What?
People are asking who's in the background.
Oh, the person? Oh, it could be one of many people. You can stop. Okay, this person, well, that's Bowser. Over there is Matt, my sister's roommate, and then behind us we have my younger sister Jade, and I want to say her husband, but he may have gone back there. So, Matt.
That's who they are.
Matt. Yes, that's my sister's roommate. We're going to a baby's first birthday party in like 2 hours, or well, it starts in 2 hours. We're probably going to leave in like an hour-ish. But instead of bringing gifts, it was requested that everyone bring food, so it's going to be a massive potluck party kind of thing.
So there's lots of cooking going on.
Yeah, so lots of cooking is happening behind us. My sister's making potato wedges, Matt's making potato salad, and I made cornbread this morning. So exciting. That's what's going on. So
that's very cool.
Yes, I hear cooking noises. And this is Bowser.
And that's Bowser.
He's the Duke.
Yeah. I have a dog, but she's over there in the corner sleeping.
She's
just
so cute.
I'm so tired. The air conditioning turned off and I'm sleeping. That's what's happening with Drew over there.
How's the weather over in LA, by the way?
It's beautiful and it's not too hot. I think it's in like the mid to upper 70s right now. But I would still probably have my air conditioning on. However, it's very loud. So I turned it off for this live show.
Same here, but I think they just turned it back on. That or it got so hot that it kicked on anyway. So they put it up to like 90. So
yikes. Yeah, it's definitely hotter where you are than it is where I am.
Yeah, I'm in, for anyone who doesn't know, I'm from Phoenix, Arizona, which is essentially the surface of the sun. Where did I put my phone? I want to see if I can check what temperature it is right now. Because it's hot, naturally. It's hot and it's dry. And I realized that I'm acclimated to this. I'm wearing a sweater right now, if you can't see.
I always wondered about that. I often wonder how you can handle being in your long sleeve shirts and sweaters all the time in your videos.
More than half of my shirts are long sleeve. Generally what I'll do is I'll just cool it down to like 75 or so, and then I'll just turn off the AC and I'll film. Which, it goes fast because the lights.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sure you especially know what that's like, because the lights will, make everything very warm very fast.
Yes.
I'm trying to check the temperature.
Over here, according to my phone, it's 73 degrees Fahrenheit.
It's 91.
Oh my God.
So it's not, and it's noon, so it's gonna get worse. But we're finally out of the triple digits. That is the thing that you will hear if you ever come to the Phoenix area. The triple digits. That's just what we call this period when it's like over 100, when it's 100 or higher.
Lucy Huffman asks, "Is it still flooded at your apartment?"
No, it's finally, I don't know if you saw my ridiculous Instagram picture. There was rain, and Arizona is a place that is not equipped for water at all. So it just, and the parking, or the apartments right next to us, they got water pretty bad, but like us, we just barely missed it. If it had rained for like an hour more, we would probably be putting up sandbags against our door like the rest of the complex. So our apartment complex was fine, but one of our cars in the parking lot got it really bad. There are 3 cars that we have. One of them is fairly broken. It's my sister's husband's, and then he has another one. And then our roommate Matt, he also has a car. The old junky car was in the far end of the parking lot, so it ended up getting essentially like completely flooded. We don't even know if it's going to work anymore. Wow. And then his new car, he was able to move before the water got any higher. And then Matt, his car got flooded just at the like feet level, so we had to like go out in like to be able to. Yeah.
Yeah, I pulled up the Instagram to take a look. That's intense.
It's really bad.
Wow.
So he was able to move his car, but it smells like swamp now, which is really bad.
No.
It smells so bad. But
That's awful.
At least it runs. At least it runs. Because there were other people that was like the water got up into the horn of their car, and it was just running, just like blaring the horn for hours because the water got up into their car. Yikes. It was so bad. But it was mostly the parking lot.
Okay, mostly in the parking lot. Because people in the chat were wondering if the flooding was so bad that you actually had to move, but I'm guessing that's not the case.
No, we got lucky that it didn't get into this apartment into our specific block of apartments. Because we're on the first floor. But the one next to us, they had to start putting up sandbags in their doorways. Oh man! So it was really bad.
When I was living in Washington D.C. area, which is known for being built on swampy area, I got and I was living in a basement apartment. I got flooded twice, and it was a mess both times. I lost some furniture, and the apartment complex had to come in and tear out all the carpeting and replace the flooring. It was intense. I do not recommend getting flooded if you can avoid it.
Yeah, if you can avoid it.
Do not recommend.
Don't do it. And it's like Arizona people don't know how to handle water. So when it rains, the sound of rain in Arizona or in Phoenix specifically is the downpour of rain on top of sirens because of the sheer volume of accidents that happen because of people who don't know how to drive in the rain. So it's just like constant sirens going. Like every 10 minutes you'll hear like sirens going past for ambulances and for police cars.
I want to apologize to the chats. Apparently, I thought that it was Lucy who was asking that question primarily, but it was actually Lauren Liefeld, who had been asking about the flooding at your place. So I want to give credit where credit is due there. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see here. It is 12:08. We don't have to go immediately, but I do want to wrap up soonish. So I'm going to take a break from the chats, and I want to ask you some questions I had. You're one of my friends where you went from having like a small number of subscribers to having tens of thousands and then 100,000 subscribers very fast. Yeah,
that was crazy.
And I don't know if you've noticed, but every time there's an event that happens, like a SITC or a VidCon, the topic of conversation comes back around to small YouTube versus large YouTube. Mm-hmm. Now, I personally tend to think that at this point in the game, at this point in our YouTube history, being in the hundreds of thousands is kind of like middle YouTube. It's not middle.
It really is.
Yeah. But you're certainly a lot closer to it than most of my friends are to big YouTube. And how has the experience been for you as a YouTuber specifically making that shift?
It happened really suddenly, but at the same time, I feel like I was a little bit prepared for it because there were a bunch of like things online where they were talking about how like at a certain point, like when you reach like roughly 1,000, it kind of starts to snowball in terms of like your growth. And I feel like that has something to do with the algorithm. If you can like maintain your content, but I don't know. It also had to do because a couple of my videos went, I don't want to call it viral, but they went like, they had like a large amount of views, larger than any of my like viewer counts. I think the top.
Are those your sketchbook tours?
Those two. Okay, the how to draw videos, the Kool-Aid hair dye one, and the sketchbook tour videos. I have the most viewed sketchbook tour videos on YouTube right now. Wow. Like if you just sort by view count and type for like search for sketchbook tours, mine are the ones that have hundreds of thousands of views, and then I think the next one has like just under that. So yeah, my sketchbook tours are the most viewed ones on YouTube. And then the how to draw yourself in the style of, each of those, or the first two, have almost 1 million views each.
Oh my God.
And then, yeah, the one with Butch Hartman that I just put out is still going up. And then the Kool-Aid hair dye one, which was one of the first ones that I did in terms of like tutorials, that one is another one that was really, really popular. But yeah, so like those ones got almost 1 million views, and that's way more than I have like subscribers. So it was partially like a viral video thing. I don't like calling it viral because it doesn't, like 1 million isn't really viral at this point. I don't know if I'd call it that.
I feel like it's hard to avoid the impressiveness of anything in the millions, even today.
Yeah.
It's millions. That's a number that you literally cannot imagine.
It's so many. Like, yeah, it's beyond my comprehension.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that's partly what caused it. But I don't know. It's one of those things where it just feels the same, kind of, except I just am aware that there are hundreds of people on the other side of the screen, like hundreds of thousands of people on the other side of the screen.
Yeah, you're missing a big chunk there. I go.
Yeah. It's so many, and it's uncomprehendable. So it fades into that, what is it, like, have you ever heard the phrase, one death is a tragedy, thousands of deaths are a statistic? And
Yes.
it just kind of plays into like how humans perceive numbers. So it's like when you have a small audience, you can comprehend that and you recognize that it's a large amount of people. But when it gets into the uncomprehendable territory, it lumps together and psychologically becomes one. So it feels smaller than like smaller comprehensible numbers would. Does that make any sense? So I feel the same as I did like with my smaller like community, even though I consciously recognize that that community is 10 times as big as it used to be, it still feels like it's not that big. But I have to keep like waking myself up and saying like, no, like hundreds of thousands of people have seen your face on the internet. And it's just crazy. I'm never going to be able to comprehend that. It's such a big number.
Has it come with like systemic benefits or changes for you?
What do you mean systemic?
Like, has YouTube offered you things? Have you had more opportunities available to you because of your subscriber base?
Yeah, I mean things like Butch Hartman contacting, like his PR people contacting me and being like, "Hey, you're a popular YouTuber in the art field. Would you like to work with Butch Hartman?" And I was like, "Yeah."
Okay, well that paid off really well.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. Like he had contacted like his. He's a mailman. Anyway, like so his with Butch Hartman, like they were working on developing a YouTube channel for him. You know, like breaking into the 21st century. It's what the kids are into these days. So they were reaching out to a bunch of different YouTubers and kind of looking to, like, he also did a video with Frizzy Voices.
Yes, Frizzy Voices, yeah.
Yeah, so they were reaching out to a bunch of people looking to do collabs and like learn about this industry and everything. So I was able to like, and it was perfect because they contacted me just before VidCon when I was going to fly out to LA. So I was like, hey, I'm gonna be in LA for like an extra day or two. I'd be more than happy to come in and like do some stuff. And so we were able to make a video together. I was so, they contacted me over the YouTube messaging system, which I know if you've used it, it's pretty terrible.
It's awful.
It's terrible. And they sent like a message through that because it was like the only way to contact me. And I was so lucky that I saw it. And it's like the worst thing ever. The YouTube messaging system needs so much work.
Yeah, I feel like they were going to somehow integrate Google Plus to replace it, but then everybody hates Google Plus, so that plan fell through the cracks.
Bad.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like they really just need to. I don't know the logistics of this, but I feel like if they could just integrate it with an existing social platform like a Twitter or Tumblr, and allow you to get messages that way, that would be better than trying to build it piecemeal. But I don't know.
Yeah. Or if they could even just set it up, because right now the YouTube messaging system just looks like another section of the comment section.
Yeah.
Where it's just like a bunch of comments. Whereas if they had it where it was more like an email system or the messaging system on Twitter, where it was actually a messaging system and not just another section of comments, I feel like that would be another thing. because you can't delete them, you can't organize them, you can't like make folders. It's literally just another section of comments, and that drives me crazy.
Yeah, it is a mess.
I could get so much use out of that if it were actually like a messaging system.
Well, once upon a time, there was a better messaging system in place, and like biggish YouTubers can communicate with each other.
Wasn't it like I remember it being something like that.
Yeah,
Wasn't
it was
that back before Google bought out YouTube?
something like that. But I like you'll hear old school YouTubers like Megan Tonjas and the Vlog Brothers talk about how they were actually able to communicate with other big YouTubers directly on YouTube using the messaging system. But now that's not a possibility.
Because, like I said, it's just another comment section, and it's impossible to find like specific people in the comment section.
Yes, it's a mess. Do you think that you're going to, I don't know, will you be able to take advantage of your subscriber base in any way when you're over in the UK?
Probably. If anything, I feel like I'm going to be able to grow as a YouTuber in the UK because the YouTube community in the UK is much more tight knit. I don't know if I want to call it that. They're more equipped to do collab work and to make YouTube friends in the UK as opposed to here where everyone is so spread out.
Yeah.
Because in the UK, like everything is like a couple hours on a train away.
It's all on an island.
Yeah. And it's a very small island. So it's easy to like, I don't know, to do collab work with everyone. Whereas here it's so much more difficult like to do an in-person collab or to just hang out with people.
Yes.
I don't know. I feel like the YouTube community is so stretched out in the United States or in the LA area. It seems like that's the main place for the YouTube community in the US.
Well, I mean, I'm in the LA area, and I want to reach out to more people in the YouTube community, but I'm having a hard time of it because there's nothing really centralized about it, particularly for people who are small YouTubers. Like, because I have fewer than 10,000 subscribers, I can't just go to the YouTube space, for example, and like make use of it. You, on the other hand, can go to the YouTube space in the UK, which has just been redone and looks gorgeous, apparently. You can check that out.
I need to unlock it because once you get to like, it's 10,000 for LA, 5,000 for New York, and 5,000 for the UK. And I want to say it's 5,000 for the new Tokyo one that they also just built.
Probably.
But you have to like unlock it and go through like an orientation thing. I wanted to do it while I was down for VidCon, but I didn't get a chance to. Because I ended up making a video with Butch Hartman, so it's okay. It works out.
That's not a bad trade-off.
I agree. So I need to unlock the UK YouTube creator space. But yeah, I would imagine that would be a good place to meet other YouTubers.
It seems like it. Mark Hilton in the chats is saying that the YouTube creator space just opened on Monday, the new one in the UK. It's way bigger than the old one. And it is actually a 10,000 subscriber requirement to make use of it now.
Oh, so they upped it?
Yeah, I think when they released the official creator tiers, within the beginning of this month, they made it universal everywhere.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yep.
Because YouTube is growing. In May of this year, it hit 25,000 accounts that have at least 100,000 subscribers. So there are over 25,000 accounts on YouTube that have more than 100,000 that are eligible to get the silver play button. I'll put it that way.
That is nuts.
Isn't that insane? And it was just after the amount of million subscriber accounts hit 2,000. So there are at this point over 2,000 accounts on YouTube that can get the gold play button, which is the massive one that they save for when you hit 1 million subscribers.
That is just...
It's crazy, isn't it?
I can't wrap my mind around it.
I can't either. It's just how big YouTube has gotten that over 25,000 accounts are eligible for the silver play button.
That's nuts.
Which is crazy. I finally got mine also, which is really cool. I got my silver play button in the mail. I was really excited.
That's so cool. Yeah.
So I was able to like talk about that on Twitter. I've got to ship it to the UK now. So much stuff. I've just shipped so much stuff overseas. It's going to be so expensive. Oh, I'm not looking forward to it. especially because I'm shipping a lot of paper, and I don't completely trust the post office or the plane I'm flying with, because it's like, I don't want any of my stuff to be lost at all. Especially if it's like one-of-a-kind artwork that is not replaceable.
Did you give any thought to maybe just putting some of the one-of-the-kind artwork into storage somewhere?
That's another thing. I have bad experiences with storage because my family, like I left so much stuff back at my grandmother's place, and I went back there like in June or July to check on all that stuff, and it's just so much of my stuff has just been completely ruined. Like after my grandmother had passed away, no one was really taking care of the house, and it's like crumbled to pieces, essentially. Yeah,
that
it's
sucks.
Really bad. The worst thing that's made me really sad. Okay, my dad left when I was like 2 years old. But he left behind like a handful of things, and one of the things that he left behind, because he was a carpenter, apparently, I don't even really know the guy, but apparently he was a carpenter, and he made my mom a table, like from scratch. He made my mother a table.
Whoa.
And we had this table for the longest time, and I told my uncle and my family, like, I want this table. Like, save this for me. Out of anything, all the stuff that you save, just save this for me. And so this table was put in storage, and it was just set aside for me. And at some point while I was at college, my uncle left it out in the sun. He just like put it outside with, have in mind, the Arizona sun. And it ate the table. It just destroyed it. It just turned it to dust, and like the legs broke, and I was so angry. I was so mad because it was like one of those like tiny sentimental things that I wanted to keep. So I have so many bad experiences with storage that I'm afraid to leave stuff. Especially because like my drawings are my prized possessions. Like I hoard them, and so I want to make sure that they get to the UK in one piece.
I mean, that's definitely understandable.
No.
What's going on?
My sister gave me a piece of bacon.
And then you got attacked by the Duke.
No. 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 She wants me to try it because we're trying turkey bacon. That's good.
Hey.
Go over there. That'll get rid of him. But yeah, she's making bacon bits for the potato salad.
Nice.
That's what she wanted. Yeah. He's adorable. Anyway, were there any other questions that you wanted to ask for Oops that you just generally had?
I was gonna ask about what you are looking forward to for the future of your YouTube channel.
Oh, that's a difficult one.
Yeah.
Well, I know I've got really big plans for it. I'm gonna start. I had mentioned this to you a little bit, but I want to separate my vlog videos and my art videos, because I feel like a very large amount of my subscriber base is actually people who came to my channel for art reasons, or because they found my sketchbook tours or my how to draw videos, and those are always the ones that are the most successful on my channel. So what I want to do is make my main channel my art channel, and then start doing vlogs like I used to, like ones that have like skits and tell stories and stuff on my second channel. But yeah, I want to actually, because I miss making those. Hi, dude. I don't have any more bacon for you.
But he still smells it.
Yeah. He wants me to have bacon so that he can have bacon. But I won't have bacon. But yeah, so I do have lots of plans. Although I'm sure my channel's going to be like half dead while I'm studying and getting my master's degree.
Yeah, how much is that gonna affect your uploading abilities? Gosh.
I don't know if it's going to be good or bad, because I feel like I can also work with the projects that I'm doing to upload those. So maybe I might be able to, like, what's it called? Use both of them. So like record myself working on a project for school, and then I can submit it to YouTube while also turning it in for credit kind of stuff. We'll see.
I hope that works out. That would be cool. Do you think your BAM series, that took you a lot of work, didn't it?
Yeah, and I've been working on one for a really long time, and I just need to put it together and actually do it. The other thing is that if I move my vlogs to my second channel, I want to take BAM with it, because then I can do it more often on my second channel. And I haven't made one in like months, and it makes me really sad because I've got a bunch of YouTubers that I know that I want to put in the next one, because the next one I want to do is a music-based one. But I think I'm like one YouTuber short. But like I have one planned, and I used to like message people in advance so that I could get permission to use their content, because I don't want to use people's content without their permission. Also, it gives me a way to like introduce myself, and we can be YouTube friends that way. And I've met some of my like best YouTube friends that way. I'm pretty sure that's how I met you. That's how I met Crystal Joy. That's how I met Pascal, I believe. Who else? That's how I met Friggin' Boom.
Yeah, Friggin' Boom, he's great.
Yeah. So that's how I've met a bunch of YouTubers.
That's so good.
So like, it's a beautiful conversation starter.
It is.
Yeah.
If you find that you do need another musician YouTuber, let me know. I'm sure I have a couple of small YouTuber friends.
Put me a list together if you can.
Will do. I'll send that over to you.
Yeah, that would be really, really helpful actually. Anyone who makes any type of original songs.
Yeah, I know a couple people like that.
Yeah.
I find it funny that like I just think of you as like a friend of mine on YouTube. I just think of you as a friend of mine. And so I see some people in the chat who are acting like you are like a celebrity, and they're talking about freaking freaking out if they discovered they were going to the same college that you're going to.
That's so adorable.
Cute.
That makes me happy. That's so sweet.
That's nice.
I want to see if I can find any of the people who are doing the like Notice Me Senpai stuff.
There were quite a few of them, and I don't like to encourage the Notice Me Senpai and like follow my username in sort of comments, because that's not a conversation. That's just a fandom relation. That's just a fandom interaction.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I like to have conversations with people rather than fandom interactions.
That's probably why I'm not looking at the chat because, yeah, it's easier this way.
It is. Is there some last, I don't know, message or idea or concept that you'd like to bring up in this show before we take off?
I'm trying to think of anything else. One thing that I wanted to mention that I just remembered before I take off is that, once again, for anyone who's like new to this and doesn't know who I am, my name is Echo. I make mostly art YouTube, some vlog YouTube videos, and I'm moving to the United Kingdom in 2 weeks, 3-ish weeks, to go in the UK, so it's exciting. But I'm from Arizona, and I'm acclimated to Arizona temperature. It's 91 degrees outside, and I'm wearing a sweater and sitting under very heavy lights from like 3 different directions, and I'm fine. Because apparently, this is what I've been told, when you are acclimated to this kind of temperature, your blood vessels move closer to the surface of your skin to make cooling down easier. Like your blood vessels and your pores and everything move closer to the surface of your skin. So to cool your blood and like keep that temperature regulated. And I'm about to go from Phoenix summer to London winter. And I don't know how I'm going to react to that. I don't even own a real coat.
Uh-oh. You might have to invest in like a long Doctor Who or Hogwarts scarf.
Yeah, or like a Castiel trench coat kind of thing.
And Castiel trench coat.
I think I have one for cosplay. Maybe I'll just take that and make it a real coat.
Do it. That'd be great.
Bowser's trying to take over.
He is. So Clara has been asking, what would you name your kids?
Oh.
Of various genders.
I feel like I had plans. The names that I wanted from when I was a kid were, the girl name is Meridian, the boy's name is Sage.
Interesting. Meridian and Sage.
Okay, interesting. Boys' names are hard. If I have kids, I don't know if I'm ever going to, but on the off chance that I end up having kids, I want my kids to have unique names like mine, because it makes life a little bit easier in some ways. I'm sure having a common name would make it easier in other ways that I can't relate to, but having a unique name makes life easier in other ways. For example, in my lifetime, I've had 4 people have to come and ask, what was your name? I'm sorry, I forgot. 4 times in my whole life. Only 4 people have actually had to ask me what my name was a second time. People don't forget my name, which is a beautiful thing that like a lot of people have a problem with.
Yeah.
I never have to worry about other people having like my name tag at a party kind of thing, or like you know when you go and you pick up your name tags, I don't have to worry about like mine being mixed up or anything because I'm the only Echo. Yeah, I don't have confusion like that same name confusion that a lot of people have to do, where sometimes they'll have to have nicknames for different people because you end up with the same name.
Yes, like short Echo and tall Echo.
Yeah, there was one time where I've had to deal with that at when I was going to ASU. We used to live in this dorm that was like a donut, and it was funny because there was one other girl named Echo. She's the only other Echo I've ever met. She lived right in front of my dorm, so like her dorm was right on the opposite side, so we were like right across from each other. She's on the second floor, but we were like our doors were facing each other, and I met everyone first, so I was Echo, and she was the other Echo. So she was the one who got the nickname, and I was just Echo, which was nice. But I thought that was funny. She's the only other Echo I've ever met. She was like a creative, artistic dancer person, like, which is not surprising. I feel like Echo is like a creative person's name.
Yeah, can you imagine if you had been named Echo and then you ended up being, I don't know, like an accountant? Just like...
Yeah, see, I feel like that just wouldn't fit me.
I like filing taxes. That's what I like to do. My name's Echo.
What? Math?
Nope.
Nope. That's like Echo.
You know what happened is that you ended up with a comic book character's name, and so you're having a comic book character's life.
Yes, I like that a lot. It is like I could see a comic book character being named Echo.
Yeah, like Harleen Quinzel had no choice.
Yeah, no choice at all. It's like your name decides your fate. So I want to make sure that my kids have interesting names, so they'll have interesting fates.
I have never thought about what I would name kids because I have no interest in having kids.
Yeah, see, for me, it's more like if it happens, that's cool. I'm not gonna like break down crying if it doesn't. But yeah, I like the name Sage for a boy because it's like it's spice, but it's also like Sage, like it's like a slightly more magic name. But guys' names are almost impossible to get unique and interesting without being cheesy, or I don't know how to describe it.
Well, I mean, especially today, as we are more aware of gender conformity and how you do not have to, it's weird to realize that stereotypical boys and girls names are stereotypically that way because we associate femininity and masculinity with certain words. But all of that is arbitrary and made up and doesn't have to be the case.
Mm-hmm.
I really like it when somebody has a name that is traditionally considered feminine or traditionally considered masculine, and they themselves are not a masculine gender or feminine gender. I really like that.
Yeah, that's really cool.
It's like I have a friend who's a blues dancer whose name is Mike, and it's not short for anything. Her name is Mike.
Yeah, that's cool.
And I love it. It's great. So if I were to name a child, I would try to name them either something that is a non-gender specific name, like Riley. Our friend just recently renamed herself Riley, and that is an awesome name.
That's a good name too. Riley's a really good name.
It's a really good name, and it's not gender specific, but it definitely can be a girl's name. It definitely can be a boy's name. It can be any name, and it's great. Good choice.
Yeah, like my instinctual like genderless name that I think of is Sam, because
I'm sorry, all I'm hearing is rustling.
Huh?
All I heard was rustling.
That was
Rustle.
Hold on, let me do this. Is that better?
There we go.
The dude ripped my earphone out because he's mad that I'm ignoring him. My general like go-to genderless name is Sam because it can be short for Samantha, but it can also be short for Samuel. So if it's just Sam, then it's like another just genderless name.
I like when on TV shows somebody will hear a shortened name like that, and then they will lengthen it the wrong way. Like they'd hear Sam and think, oh, that's short for like Samothy.
Yeah, those are always beautiful.
I love that. I think it's hilarious. Okay, so I am out of questions. I know that I'm sure that people in the chat could keep you talking forever.
Yes. I need to go back to doing live shows.
You should. Aren't they fun?
In the UK. I'm debating just doing my own type of last week thing and just like say like, hey, I am blatantly ripping off Tom Scott because it's a good idea and he's cool and you know, promo to Tom Scott coming up with this beautiful idea. But I like the idea of cataloging, or what is it, vlogging in weeks.
Yeah.
I might try to do that while I'm in the UK for the sake of documenting my journey. But other than that,
cool.
Baby's birthday party thing soon, and I should probably go help them with the potatoes and bacon. And,
whoa! Speaking of a birthday party, apparently in the backyard of the apartment next door, somebody's having a birthday because they just put up a bouncy castle.
Ooh, I never got to have a bouncy castle when I was a kid.
Someday. I feel like I missed out. I missed out as well.
Someday I'm gonna like, maybe for like my 30th birthday, in a really long time from now, I'll just be ridiculous, have a birthday bouncy castle.
You maybe should. Next year. The thing about our adulthood is that we can make it whatever we want it to be.
Exactly. All right.
I have had a lot of fun talking with you and the people in the chats. This was so great. Thank you so much for joining me.
Yes, and thank you for like letting me be on your wonderful Paul Talk thing. Yeah, this is something I've actually wanted to do for a really long time.
If I had known, I would have invited you earlier. I was trying to go through like people who aren't necessarily my friends, because it's also a way for me to like get to know people.
Yeah, that makes
sense. But I loved having you. It was great.
And Doug.
And Doug.
He loved stealing spotlight.
Doug has absolutely been the third member of this live show.
Absolutely.
Do you have like a way that you normally sign off your videos?
Oh, how do I sign off? Oh, I just give awesome points. Oh, that'll be good. This is like hidden awesome points. So only someone who actually makes it to the end of this. I'm gonna say, I will do like, say 300. I feel like 300 is kind of like my base amount right now, but it's still a really good chunk of awesome points. So we'll say if you made it to the end of this podcast, or even if you're here right now, or if you just happen to come across it, then you get 300 awesome points. And there we go. So yeah, it's like secret hidden awesome points.
That's so cool.
Like how beautiful is that?
It's very beautiful. And at the end of all my videos, I say the same thing, which is that tomorrow will be even better. Well, thanks for tuning in, everybody.
Bye.